Oh. What's up, everybody? It's Kimberly Flowers, the visual branding expert. Today we're here in Laurel, Maryland, and we are talking with some amazingly successful Black women entrepreneurs, and we're going to get talking, have a real authentic talk about what does it take to do the amazing things that you do and create the impact that we do in the space that you do. And just talk a little bit about the journey, right? Because I think when it comes to as we're building our businesses, a lot of people get to see the end result of the things that we produce and the things that we create, and they see, you know, just kind of a front-end perspective. So today, we're all about getting behind the curtain and really taking a look at what does it take to actually build and sustain a business and a brand that really impacts the people that we're called to serve, right, guys? So I'm going to let them all introduce themselves. Each one of you guys, ladies, are going to introduce yourself and just kind of tell our audience today a little bit about the wonderful work that you do in the world. Rhonda, let's start with you.
Sure. So my name is Rhonda Williams, the Dream Life Coach, and we work together with women at Dream Life University to help women define the amazing life that they want to live, and then begin to bring a specific strategy so that they can begin living that life. Because we believe that it is your amazing life to define, to own, and to live. And we do that with the foundation of emotional intelligence. And so I'm really excited to be here with all of these fabulous and amazing women here today, and I am looking forward to this conversation.
And she's an amazingly added contribution to this conversation, especially when we're talking about emotional intelligence, right? So we'll get into a little bit more about that.
Yes.
And go ahead.
Adeline. Hi, everyone. My name is Adeline Francois Dryden, and I am the owner of Dryden Tax and Accounting Services, and also the founder of Women Entrepreneurs Rock. My passion is to help women entrepreneurs in their finances as far as bookkeeping and accounting, educating them, and also providing the resources that they need to take their businesses to the next level. As women entrepreneurs, we're mothers, we're aunts, we're sisters, we're whatever you want to call us for the day. And sometimes, as for me, some of the things that have truly impacted me was to trying to find balance. And I always tell everybody there's no such thing as balance. You just have to find the harmony. As a mother that has 2 asthmatic children, it's been very hard and very difficult through this journey. Right. As I told you guys yesterday, some days I feel like Superwoman, and some days I feel like that third monkey that's trying to get on the ark. And it's just no joke. But one thing I do know, you have to keep pushing and keep chasing your dreams, and everybody else will chase you.
I love it. I love it. Hi, everybody. I'm Tammy Turner, and I am a 15-year veteran actress, singer, producer. I have created a network called Freedom Women's Network, and I've done so because over my years I've spoken to so many women who have created these prisons in our mind. Right. We have created them and we live in them. And so those negative blocks and those negative barriers, they keep us from going out and living the life that we want to live. You know, we have a program that comes with just living, you know, programs you get from your family or from friends or from people who just really may not have known better. They program things in you, and so you don't live your best life. I remember there was one story. I told you I'm a singer, and I guess when I was about 20, maybe 21 years old, so many people would ask for me to sing. You know, they would say, "Hey, can you?" You want me to sing now in the middle of the story?
Just one note.
Though the winds blow against me, they can't stop me, no. They may try to hinder me, but they can't block me, no, 'cause I can see the sun, battle already won, victory is come, and I see the light in God's eyes.
herself.
And like you can just do that like on the look, y'all never put me on the spot.
And look, I hear her in my ears. She says that's her favorite song.
You wrote
Oh my
that
God.
song.
But let me tell you this. Here's the thing that I'm saying. Okay, so I didn't do it the traditional way. You know, I was a happy childhood. I was a wonderful little girl, but I didn't do it the traditional way. I got pregnant early. I was 17 years old.
Okay.
So I didn't go the route that I thought I would go. When I became a mother, I exchanged like my dreams and what I wanted for my son.
Yeah.
Like that was all I was thinking about. And then I became a wife, and you know, and then it was them before me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We want to talk more, but I want to talk.
Okay, so let me get okay.
Yeah. Well, because it's just so like, how many of us have done that?
Oh gosh,
You know what I mean?
too many of us.
Yes.
Too many of us. And you know what, Kim? I had lost my voice.
Mm.
I didn't sing for years. I didn't sing for years. So so anyway, what I had to do, because I don't want to work. Am I?
No, you're good. You're good.
over
You're
on
good.
It's
time?
supposed to be going around, but
Oh.
it's not here.
Tell me.
Okay, well, you're not the host. That's why I'm asking. What you want me to do?
Actually, here's what we're gonna do. I want you guys to all introduce yourself, because here's the thing. You guys are talking about some amazing things,
Yeah, let's
and I don't
go
want to
back.
overpass it, like, because we're just talking about it, introducing ourselves. But all
Yeah.
of these topics are so relevant and things that we actually need to discuss during the time that we're talking today. Talking about all these different things, and I love how each one of you have your own specific contribution to the conversation. Because even finances, like I wanted to
Yes,
go there
ma'am.
when you started talking there. I wanted to go there when you started talking about emotional intelligence. So we're gonna bring it all right back around.
Y'all know we
So let's
women,
just all
so we like to
introduce, and then let's go spill it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, my name is Aya Boomy Moore. People call me Boomy for short. I've known her for 20 years, so y'all may see us. We like sisters go back and forth a little bit on this couch. But I love you, Tammy. I am a mom of five, grandmother of two, and being a grandmother is such a joy. The founder of Power Personified. And because of my story, which you'll hear later, it has helped me, the struggles that I have really gave me the skill set over time to learn to overcome so many things. And I said, man, I've learned how to stay focused despite the distractions and difficulties, and I want to teach people what I've learned through my journey. So walk in your power. That's my brand.
Well, I am Dr. Stephanie G. Barnes, and I'm with the C-Suite Women's Network. And it is my goal to help women to live in the C-suite mindset. And the thing that I want women to fully appreciate is that regardless of what roles that we're in, whether we're homemakers, whether we're accountants, whether we're executives, singers, whatever, we are all the CEOs of our lives. And chief executive officers, you know, make decisions, they make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I want women to really embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
And also to really be the creators of their own life and their own opportunities, because far too often we think we need to choose either or. And I love to embrace the concept of living life in the and. You don't have to choose whether you want to be a mom or a career woman. You know, either or of anything, there's always a way to live your life in the and.
Yes.
And it's all about strategies and building strategic partnerships and just really making it happen. It doesn't just magically happen.
Yeah, I love that. So, as you can see,
love it.
the panel here is full of amazing value. Like, each one of us have stories and things that we have learned through our process, and we're grown in our businesses, right? Just from those things. So we talked a little bit, like, as you guys were talking, again, I wanted to like stop you on emotional intelligence and financial stability and understanding how to manage the financial side. So we're taught in business, like, it's time to build your business, we're earning revenue, but a lot of people miss the step of being able to manage revenue, right?
Yes.
And how you know, like, you get in trouble if you don't understand how to do both, right? And so we're going to be talking a little bit about what are some of the challenges that, as Black women entrepreneurs, there are so many things, like, there's a lot happening, right? We're trying to build a business, we're trying to maintain households, like, some of you are married with children, and there is so many things that we have to think about in addition to building a sustainable empire, right? But before we get into that, what I want to do is acknowledge the people that are out there. We have like lots of people out there. Michael, welcome. Forrest. We have Bernadette Evans. Who else do we have out there? Lena. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching.
Hey guys.
I want you to share the video.
Michael.
Share the video, guys. Share this video out, because if there's going to be a lot of information that we're talking about right now, and what we want to do is make sure that if this message is for somebody else, I want you to go ahead and share the video with the person that you know needs to hear this message. And hashtag Black CEO. Hashtag Black CEO, and as you're watching, make sure you share this video with a friend. So we're talking about what does it take to build a sustainable business empire. As Black women, we face a lot of different, there's a lot happening in our world, right? And in addition to building a business, just as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, there's a lot of things that we have to think about in addition to also figuring out, how do I make my business work for me?
Yeah.
We're working for so many other things. How do I make my business work for me in the process of not neglecting those people that I love, right? And so one of the things that we're talking about, Tammy, you started talking to me about, you know, what is it like to try to build a brand and build a sustainable business, but at the same time not feel that guilt about building it when you have a beautiful, you know, little boy who needs you. And talk to us a little bit about that.
It was very hard, and I did. Oh, I hope I don't cry. and I did feel guilty for so long, you know. And I have always been, Boomy knows that even though I'm a mom, there has always been that fire of entrepreneurism in me. You know, there's always been something bigger than who I am on the inside of me. So and it would come out every day. I just didn't know how really to express
or
it,
to give it an outlet,
and how to express it consistently. So I might start something, but then I'll go, okay, well, I started that, I've made some money there, but, you know, let me back up and go back into the household and then just focus on that.
So let's talk about the mindset there. Let's talk about the mindset there. What was it that was keeping you from being consistent in that way? What were you thinking about?
It was the program that I had gotten.
Okay.
Maybe from, you know, from my parents or from television, telling me what a mother was supposed to be,
what a mother's supposed to look
and
like,
what a wife was supposed to look like, and what she was supposed to embody. You know, that mother didn't look like a Beyonce, you know, a singer who actually did this as a career. That's not what the mom looked like. You know, she looked like homemaker, you know, Joni homemaker. You're in the house, you cooking, you're constantly cleaning, and then you look pretty the whole time and you're vacuuming, and it was supposed to be fun. Wasn't it supposed to be fun? Did y'all see the picture where it was supposed to be fun on the TV? You know, and that's what it was supposed to be. And as I told you before, I lost my voice to the point to where I didn't sing for years until I went to a church and somebody heard me singing next to them and said, "Wait a minute, are you a singer?" And I said, "Well, you know, I'm a mom," and you know, and so it took me a while to find the strength to say, "Wait a minute, hold it, I've got to get my life back. I've got to get my life back." You know what I'm saying?
You know what? So interestingly about that is that you said you lost your voice, and as a singer, we have a multiple kind of meaning there, right?
Yes.
Like you lost your voice, but also sometimes when we are just so busy accepting what the narrative that other people have placed us in, right? We can tend to lose our own opinion about that thing. Especially in today's society, we're so afraid to have an opinion, it seems, about what we think about certain things because it's politically incorrect. We have other people looking at us. We're afraid they're going to judge us, and maybe our businesses are going to be impacted by our own desire to express the very things that we value and that we care about, right? And so this is about finding your freedom. Talk to us a little bit about what it takes to find your freedom from what we're programmed naturally to think and do, coming outside of our programming. What does that take, Steph?
Because I think initially you have to come to the realization that you're not speaking in your own voice. And as Tammy mentioned, you know, just thinking about the programming. And, you know, and it's really a double-edged sword in, you know, looking at other people. Like, you know, each of us here has our own experiences. And certainly I can learn from everything that each of you does. But if I try to be you, it's not going to feel good to me.
Yes.
Even though what you're doing is awesome and outstanding, if it's not authentic to me, it's not going to be successful.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the first thing that we have to recognize is, you know, how do we learn from others,
Yes.
but make it our own?
Yes.
Because you're never truly creating anything original
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
as much as you are
Positioning
pulling
it as
from,
uniquely
pulling from
them.
the good in other people and then sifting out the bad. Because, you know, I truly believe that, you know, you can learn from everyone that you meet.
I believe
You
that
can
too.
get something from them, even if it's not a good experience. If it's a bad experience, you can get a good lesson.
You
Learn what to
can learn
do,
the most
right?
from.
Learn what not to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first step
Yes.
is recognizing that. And then I'm going to say this, you know, having the courage to do it,
Mm-hmm.
because it does take courage.
Yeah.
But I don't say that to suggest that, you know, it's in a negative way.
Mhm.
But it does take courage because people are going to push back.
Mhm.
You know, if you think about it, you know, people don't like change. They
Yeah.
like for things to go with the flow. And then if you are out there doing something different, well, there's going to be that pushback.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the courage to then, in that instance, to find your voice to say, yeah, that's great that you want to do it that way.
Yeah.
But here's the way that feels good for me,
Me.
and I'm going to do it this way.
So courage to come outside of your natural programming.
Yes.
We're raised to think a certain thing. We are conditioned to feel a certain way about certain things, and when we don't, we feel guilty, right?
Yes.
So I think all of us, to some extent, have experienced that level of just kind of guilt, like, this is what they said it's supposed to look like. This is what they said I'm supposed to feel
Yeah.
about this, but I don't. So now, how do I gain the courage? Talk to us a little bit
Another
about that.
thing, in addition to learning from others, and we need to find the courage to collaborate with each other.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am.
A lot of times we think
That's
we
good.
one all be all, and I can do this, but that's not the case. I have found success in collaborating with my colleagues, collaborating with other women, and supporting other women. I have my three C's is connect, collaborate, and cash checks.
Yes.
Say it
Put
again.
that in the group, guys.
Yes.
Say that again.
Say it again.
Connect, collaborate, and cash checks.
That's the one.
Connect,
Yes.
collaborate, and cash checks, you guys. Make sure you put that in the group. If you are just now joining us,
Hashtag.
right?
Connect,
If
collaborate,
you're just now joining us, you guys, we're talking about the challenges, how we overcome the challenges that we face as Black women, building empires and building families and other things that we love so much, right? Other people that we love.
think we are.
And we're talking about how do we get past our natural programming and things that we've been taught by society to get past that and be able to move into a different space, an elevated space, an expanded space. And you talked a little bit about collaboration, which I love because I think a lot of times, sometimes when we're going through things, we think we're going through it alone, right? And because of that, it's almost like when you're not talking to other people, you think you're the only one going through something. And then when that guilt comes, you almost want to, do what you think everybody else is doing, right? Because you think everybody else is feeling the same way, but as you begin to collaborate and talk to other women, you find out, oh, you're feeling that too? Oh, that was me too, right? Yeah, and so this is about resonating. Talk to us a little bit about, go ahead.
I wanted to speak on the confidence piece.
Good,
Because one of the things that I had to have confidence to do was to break through the programming maybe from tradition, what church says,
Yes.
in reference to marriage.
Okay.
So I got married very young. Like I said, I had 5 kids by the time I was 28. And then through the course of time, me and my spouse just grew apart. But what I was programmed with was, hey, this is just forever, right?
Yes.
But I had to have the strength to say, there's more for me, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but there are some things places that I have to go, and it's not congruent with who you are. And that was so hard because you're thinking about your kids. Like, I'm saying this right now, before I was saying it, my heart was beating fast. I'm like, okay, there's some people that don't even know I'm going through divorce. Some people just think I'm single, right?
Yeah.
And they don't know that,
Okay.
that relationship is done. So there's that confidence to do that, but I'm so thankful that I had to come to the place where I said, I don't care, it's my life.
That's right.
There's things that I was born here by myself. It's a purpose that I have that I have to go get. And so, yeah, people may say things maybe, but maybe not. I'm not the first person that's ever been divorced, you know.
Yeah.
People have gone through that, you know. Yeah, my kids may not like it, but it's my life and I'm going to protect them as much as I can in it. But this is what I feel that I have to do for me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm proud of myself for having that courage to do that, because it was part of what I had to do for me, my goals, my destiny. And so that was really big for me. And to be able to, and through that, to stay focused on my goals and my dreams and move
because
forward.
that could become
that could be a distraction.
That
People
could
could derail, like, oh, I'm not going to work on this project until this is over. And you got to stay strong and keep going. So, and people don't even know what's going on in my life. You know what I'm saying?
I want to stop. Okay, so let's talk about that though.
Yeah.
When it comes down to like the problems and the things, the challenges that we're facing in our life, and we're still building a business, I want to talk a little bit about emotional intelligence in situations like this.
Please talk to us about emotions.
Like how do we? Because there's so many people out there that have they're building a business, they're trying to create something, and they're distracted by what's happening emotionally in their space, right? Because of the family members or the friends and the drama and things that are happening behind the scenes, and we're trying to stay focused, but a lot of people are being derailed by this very thing, Rhonda. So I want you to kind of talk to us about how do we stay focused in the midst of drama?
So the first thing is, you heard in all of our stories the impact of others' expectations.
Yes.
Right? I think I heard every person say the programming. Right? I was programmed, and this is what people expected of me. And so what's happening is during this programming, we're developing these trigger points. So when you are not acting as a wife should, whatever that looks like, you are triggered. And your trigger is guilt. Right? Then the guilt bubbles up. When people expect that you need to stay married, and this is what a wife is, and this is what you need to be doing, you are triggered.
Right.
And what happens when those triggers happen is you can get derailed. That's when that happens, because when you get that feeling starting to bubble up, you react.
Yeah.
Right? You have to do something with it. So when I feel guilty, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to sing anymore. Right? Although deep down inside it's there, you can feel it. And so what I think is really important for all of us, you know, as we begin to really step into who we are and embrace our own life and have the courage to sort of fulfill that place that we believe that we deserve. When you begin to do that, then you sort of can rewire yourself. You can
rewire yourself.
Yes, you can rewire.
Write that in the comment section. Because it's an amazing revelation for some of us. Like, we have to not only be courageous enough to come outside of our programming, but choose to rewire ourselves. Can we get some tissue, Che? Some rewire our thinking process and really, go ahead, Steph.
Yes, because I think that's something that is really important for women to and really anybody to fully appreciate is, you know, we think of our lives as this linear path. And you start here and you end up there, and this is the way you go. But life is so much more beautiful, much more full. You have a much more genuine experience when you recognize that it doesn't look like anything other than what you make it. And you know we think that we get on this road, and that's the only road that we can be on. And we don't change careers when we hate the one we're in. We stay in marriages where we're unhappy. We stay in places where we're unhappy. When really it's all about recognizing the freedom that you have from being able to change. And that's the great thing about being a human being, is that you get to make choices. And so if you're on a career path and you don't like it, well, guess what? There are 50 million other careers out there, and there's so many success stories of people at age 50, at age 70, at age whatever, who have decided, well, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, and here's another really important point. We sometimes believe that we're supposed to go through life and everything's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be Little House on the Prairie. It's going to be splendid. And you know what? That's not reality. And we grow through our challenges. We grow through our obstacles. We should not be running from those. We should be embracing those, because that is what will springboard us to the next level and cause us to climb higher. You know, I was similar. You know, I went through a divorce, and it was very challenging. After being married for 25 years, I thought, this can't be happening. This is, something's wrong with me. You know, something's wrong with the children. you know, something's wrong.
That's awesome.
Something's wrong with
It didn't do a thing.
But have you ever heard the expression, oh, your emotions are running all down the street?
That's awesome.
Right?
If you guys are joining us, if you guys are just now joining us, we're talking all about the journey of building an amazing brand as Black women entrepreneurs. There's so many things that we face, you guys, and I see that we have so many people online watching you guys. So that means you're resonating, ladies, with a lot of people. A lot of people are here, hearing your story, and maybe hearing their story through you, right? So that's why this is so important as we're talking about these things, is to really, talk about not just the challenges that we face, but how did we begin to overcome those things, right? So if you're in the group right now or wherever you're watching us live, I want you to put hashtag I believe, hashtag Black CEO. And we're talking about reprogramming our conditioned thinking and really transforming our mindset and bringing us into a new wave of understanding about what we redefining what a woman entrepreneur, Black motherpreneur, whatever looks like, right? What does it look like for you? Because at the end of our days, as we get older, it's not going to be the things that we did and failed at that we're worried about, right? It's going to be those things that we never even tried because we were so daggum guilty about doing anything, and so we did nothing. And then it's those kinds of conversations that are going to be the hardest for us to really have with ourselves. Go ahead.
And I think in the reprogramming, it has to be something that's so intentional, because it's easy for us to, without thinking, have negative self-talk, especially when you're going through things. What's wrong with me? Is, you're thinking you're unworthy. Oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Will I ever be able to get it right? Will I ever be able to, find love, or whatever it may be? So we're saying all these negative things to ourselves, which is just going to get us more negative things coming. So we have to be intentional, saying, wait a minute, I've got to have positive self-talk. I've got to look in that mirror and say, man, I'm beautiful. I am worthy. I am deserving of love. I've got what it takes. I can't be stopped. So we have to intentionally say that over and over again. Repetition is so important, whether we keep reading the same positive things over and over again, speaking the same things,
and surrounding yourself with a consistent environment.
Go ahead.
In addition to motivating yourself, you have to make sure that you have the right people around you, because having the wrong people around you can definitely have an impact on your business.
Right.
And one of my goals this year, Kimberly, was to create a sisterhood. That was one of my goals. This was before I knew, God knew, but before Freedom Women's Network was even formed.
Right.
That if we looked on my goal board, that was on my goal board. You were on my goal board on January 1st. So were you, Rhonda. Boom, you've been on the goal board. So were you, Kimberly. So were you, Linda, who was not here. So was she. You guys were on my goal board. I knew that I wanted to meet you. I knew that I needed you. And I knew that I needed to be in this environment where we have powerful women who have been through, who have overcome, and now they're growing. Like Boomy said, it is imperative that we are reading books that motivate us. It is imperative that not only are we in prayer, because prayer is talking to God, but also that we're in meditation, because that's where God can talk back to us, right? That's where you sit and you listen. So as opposed to taking 30 minutes, Lord, please, come on, do it, Lord. All of that. Get quiet.
That's awesome. Is that what your love looks like?
No,
you're a singer. You always sing.
I grew up in church, so I know the whole thing. I know, but to quiet your mind and be able to listen. In those times of meditation, they make the biggest difference in the world.
It absolutely does. I know you have something on your mind.
This has come up in several different forms where we're talking about mindset and how important that is. And I think it is important to be deliberate. And that is a very powerful word, being deliberate, because a lot of times we allow life to happen to us.
Oh my goodness.
We allow life to happen to us.
I'm all about
and we can't control if a husband decides they don't want to be with you. You can't control if you get laid off from a job. You can't control if a customer doesn't want to work with you. There's lots of things out there you cannot control.
Right.
But in that moment, you are equipped with a choice.
Yeah.
And so many times we think we're powerless in the moments when we're the most powerful.
Yes.
And, yes. And at that moment,
Repeat that.
Yes.
Please.
And there are so many moments when we are powerless. When in that moment we are the most powerful.
Yes, we believe we're powerless, but we're the most powerful. I think that's
And
super important.
Yes.
You guys post that in the comment section. Sometimes, say it again.
There are so many
There are
times
moments
when
when
we feel we're powerless, when in that moment we are the most powerful.
We are the most powerful because
Right.
life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how we deal
Yes.
with what happens to us,
Absolutely.
right? Because
Smart
there,
woman
like
can
you said, there are certain things that we can control. There are some things that we absolutely cannot control. But what we can control is our response
Yes.
to what happens,
Exactly. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that response, a lot of times, makes all the difference in the world as to the outcome that we
Yes, indeed.
create.
Yes,
I
indeed.
love what you said about intentionality
Yes.
because I'm all about living intentional.
Yes.
I think that we live the life that we accept or the life that we intentionally pursue. There is no in between. You know, so either you have accepted a bunch of things that just have happened to you, people that just happen to be in your space, right? Or you intentionally create your reality in the sense of like, these are the people that I choose to spend my time with, right? This is the business that I choose to grow. These are the people that are the environments that I choose and the atmosphere that I choose for myself. So in this moment, as you guys are watching, I want to encourage you to be very intentional, like Steph said, about how you are showing up in the world and how you deal with what happens to you, because there's certain things that we can't control. We all have backstories. We all have things that have happened to us in the past that maybe some people said you shouldn't have made it. Like you shouldn't be where you are right now based on what you've been through. Right?
Right. You know the song.
I'm not singing.
Right. You should have made. Can we sing another one? No. That's awesome. We got like a little karaoke box over here. Right. Can we just turn you on when we need you? Awesome. Everybody's like, turn on the channel. Go ahead.
Well, Kim, I love that you all are talking about power because that is like my brand. I always tell people you are more powerful than you know. So I love power personified because all of us, even in our weak moments, we have that power all through every cell of our being.
How do we
We just
access
have to awaken it. First of all, we have to become aware that it's there. Sometimes we need to tell sister to sister, hey, you have the power. The power's within you, because it may be that time where she's feeling powerless and it takes me coming alongside to remind her.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Then once she becomes aware of that power, then it's a matter of learning how to work with the power.
Okay.
So again, as you said, it's being intentional in our thoughts, being intentional with our words. And even, Tim talked about meditation. In that time, the imagination is so powerful. What do you want with your life? See it. Clarity and vision. You've got to play that thing out like a movie and see yourself in possession of all of the good that you desire. And that is a creative process.
I love that.
I teach you, you use that power, you call it up to create those things and call those things that are not as though they were. You're creating them with your words, you're creating them with your thoughts and with your vision.
So we're coming outside of our programming. We're coming into a transformation of thinking. But what I love that you said is that you have to be able, in order for you to achieve anything that in your life, you have to be able to see it first. Even when you can't see it, right? You have to choose to see yourself in the places that you know you're supposed to be, that you're headed in, right? You have to choose to be able to see your life differently, see your circumstances differently, see your atmosphere differently, and then taking a step. Taking, even if it's a small step. This is about taking an intentional step. Which one of you said that? Taking an intentional step towards the things that you desire in your life and choose in your heart and say, no, this is my reality. I don't care what it looks like right now.
Right.
I don't care where I am at right now. Right? This is my reality. This is what
That's a skill that it takes to be able to develop, because our natural inclination is to get caught up in the what isness of life.
Yeah, and we panic.
Right.
We
And
panic.
nobody teaches us
Yeah.
not to always look with our natural eye.
Yeah.
So it takes sometimes people, a mentor or a coach or
Yeah.
some kind of way, revelation, whatever, somebody teaching you, don't get caught up in what you see.
Yes.
Let what you see be what you see in your mind's
Yes.
eye.
Yeah.
You decide what you want,
You
and all you
decide.
see that.
And that takes a level
Yes.
of emotional
Emotional
intelligence.
right? Because you can't do any of that.
Yes.
You cannot do any. You can't make the decision. You can't establish the vision. You can't accept your power.
Yeah.
You can't decide which way to go, and you can't even decide what you want if you don't begin to form a foundation of emotional intelligence. And you know what's really powerful, I think about as women, we are always told we're too emotional. There is power in emotion.
That's right. That's right.
There is power in emotion.
Hashtag that.
Yeah.
There is power in emotion.
emotion.
Hashtag that in the group, you guys, because
It's
that
okay
is.
to feel.
Yes, and you know what?
have to
Today,
say
even
it.
as we're
Yes.
talking about the distinction
Oh my
that we bring to the
gosh.
marketplace, what I love about Black CEOs, we're talking about the distinction that we bring to the marketplace as Black CEOs,
Right.
but also looking at our distinction that we make as women in
Yes,
the marketplace,
yes.
right? And really looking at, you know, we are wired as women a certain way, and we've been
Right.
taught, programmed, right?
Yeah.
Some of us to think that that way is not going to serve the people that we're called to serve in the best way, right?
Right.
Because we're too emotional.
Yeah.
So we're thinking with our heart. We're
Yeah.
thinking about, you know, but realizing like these contributions that you're, whatever you're equipped with, whatever you're built with, is to help you accomplish those things that you're called to do, right?
Yes.
So we're unapologetic about being emotional. Like I tell, you know, guys, if I'm dating a guy, I'm like, look, I'm a woman, okay? I'm a girly girl. You know, I like girly things.
That's
I'm
right.
unapologetic about that. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
So you want to date a guy, you go to the guy. You know what I mean?
That's
But
right.
I'm a girl, 100%. You know what I mean?
I love
So-
that, Kimberly.
yeah,
And being
but
comfortable
it's
in who you
yeah.
are.
Sometimes I'm gonna be emotional. Sometimes I'm gonna cry. Oh my God. You know what I mean?
And sometimes we're gonna scream.
Right. I mean, you know, but just
That's
being
right.
unapologetic about who you are. I think when we start there and really understand that there is power and value in the things that make us up you naturally, when we embrace those things, then we can show up as our most powerful self.
Yes.
We can't do it
Yes.
until we
Yes.
accept that. When we, you know, disengage and say, try to push certain things about us in the closet and say,
Yeah.
no, they don't like that. They don't like that. I'm not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right? Then we show up as disingenuous, and then we're, you know,
Yeah.
trying to be somebody else, and it's not working, and we're wondering why. We're confused, we're tired, and we're, you know, frustrated. But because we're not showing up authentic.
Yes.
But there's
And if
something
in
really
those
important
moments,
about that.
it's-
And
oh, go
let me
ahead.
just
Go
make
ahead.
this point, because I think this is really important. So as women, we are emotional.
Yeah.
And we tend to let those emotions flow. I will say, there
Yes.
are times when we have to pull it back. Because, so you should behave based on the outcome that you want.
Yeah.
So everyone,
Yeah.
write that down.
Yep.
Yes.
You should behave based on the outcome that you want. Because
Yes.
if
Okay.
you don't, you're going to work contrary to your purpose. You're
Okay.
going to work contrary to your mission. If I want harmony in my household, but I'm arguing with my teenage son every night,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am working contrary to my mission.
So what result
know?
are we trying to achieve?
Right.
Absolutely.
And acting in
Absolutely.
accordance to that.
Decide
I really believe
that
that there is
first.
time and space
Right.
for everything. So we're not talking
Yeah.
about, I want you guys to be going off where I'm a
Yeah,
woman.
I'm a woman.
I can do whatever I want. You know, I can say whatever I want.
But that
Good.
brings me back to something I learned from Miles Monroe. He said, and I learned this from him, speak what it is that you want. Those visions that you see, those dreams in your mind,
Yes.
those are commercials that the Holy Spirit will give you
Yeah.
in reference to your future. Focus on that. Don't speak what you see, your current circumstances, everything that's going on around you. Speak what it is that you want, that vision that you saw. Eddie encouraged me so much yesterday with a small portion of her story.
Yeah.
She was telling her story, and she talked about, I think she moved to Atlanta or something like that, and she was a tax accountant. She built an office out of her closet.
I love it.
Like, no, I'm talking about boss. That's
Yes.
gangster. No. And sometimes, though, again, like you said, we try to hide.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try to hide those things. But her saying that yesterday, I perked up. I was like, this
Inspiration.
chick built
And sometimes-
a office out of her I'm talking, look, y'all, wait. It was the apartment closet, the little one. I don't know how big it was.
It was a small closet.
And you have
took the
two
doors
children,
off.
right? You said you have two
Oh my
children?
God.
I have three, but
children?
at the time I had one, and I was pregnant with my second son.
Okay. And
But
so
you took the doors off, I'm saying.
No, I didn't take the doors off.
You
I
left the doors
I
on?
put a computer in there with a shelf, and
That means it was even smaller.
yeah, with a chair.
That brings the point of, sometimes we have
Ooh.
to do things before we're completely ready, because a lot of times we think that
That's good.
we
Yeah.
gotta line everything up.
Yes,
I've gotta
yes.
have this, or I want
Start
to
where
go
you
back
are.
to school, but I gotta wait
Exactly.
until. I want to start a business, but I gotta wait until. I
Mhm.
want to do this, and the thing is, there is no perfect time except the time that you create. And
Yes.
so, we can't get caught up in thinking that we have to be perfect before we can even try to take
Yes.
a risk.
Yes.
Right.
So you,
And you just have to make it do what it do.
Right.
Yes.
So that's conditioning.
And you
Right. That's the conditioning.
And that's the power
Everywhere
of
we
having
go, it comes
mentors as
back.
well. That's
Right.
the power of having
Go there,
mentors in
go
your
there,
life
go there.
that will push you to your next level.
right.
I'm thinking about my
How
mentors.
many
I'm
times have they, our
looking at the
mentors
club
pushed
right
us
now.
past what we thought we were ready for?
Oh my
At
God.
that time, right? Like, I don't know how many times I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm not
How
ready.
you're doing, right? And then
I'm
we
not
go out
ready.
there, yes.
Right.
And sometimes the greatness is thrust upon you.
Yes.
And sometimes we need to surround ourselves in environments and
Yes.
people that are going to push us past those things that we thought we were ready for at that time. So I want you guys to talk to me. Why don't you tell me about a time where you were pushed out in your business past the place that you thought you were ready for at the time? Ooh, talk to me.
It was November of 2015. It actually was in August. And I went to a seminar with one of my mentors, and I call his name, you probably know him. And it was like, okay, now it's time for you to do your own event. Not speak at somebody else's event, but do your own. I'm in network marketing. I've done my own network marketing events, but this was my own personal development event. And I was so nervous, because I had never put on anything like that outside of my network marketing business. And so I was just like, okay, can I do this? Are they going to show up? Will they pay me? Will I be able to sell the product from the front of the room? I'm used to selling somebody else's product that I believe in, but now I'm creating my own. So it was all of these fears, and I was nervous. And then a friend said, wait a minute, Boomy, you've been doing this all the time. I mean, you always talk, you put on events, but I'm like, yeah, but not one of my own like this, you know, a brand new type of business, a personal development company. But I just remember that, and when I got there, it was just like everything came together. It just went so well, and you just have to just, if you start taking the steps in faith, you know, everything is going to come together. All the resources you need, the people, the ideas, everything will just come together. But you got to take the action in faith.
You do, because enemy, right? So great can become the enemy of progress.
Yeah.
Right?
Or your
It doesn't
last
need to be
success or
great.
whatever.
It doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
You need to get started, and the
Yes.
rest will come along.
Yeah.
And you need to move.
Yes.
A lot of times, we will, all of us have been afraid at some point, or dealing with some fear, or
And that's not
something
always
at
a
some
bad
point.
thing.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's
And
not
I
always
think
a bad
fear is the healthy pause that allows you to figure things out. So it's okay to be fearful.
Right.
However, you need to keep moving.
Yes,
when you are
It's
fearful.
not okay to be paralyzed.
So I have a paralyzing story. So it's 2008, and someone calls me and says, Tammy, they're auditioning for Sunday Best, and we think you should go. Who you think you should go? I'm not going to that audition. There is no way. Do you know how many amazing singers that I know, that I've heard? I'm not the programming.
Right.
The programming. I'm not doing that. There's no way I can do that. So I get there. I'm nervous the entire time. I'm looking at everybody like, oh man, she's so good. He's so good. They're so good. That's like, out of 8,000 auditions,
Wow.
they picked me as one of the 20.
Oh.
So here, so here I am in front of millions of people on BET. I didn't win, and I have a story around that as well. But I'm not going to tell that one. But you don't know
You
what's
don't know what you're capable of until you try.
You take
Show
the
up.
step
Yeah.
out.
Absolutely. And we're talking about mentors. One of the things that you said was talking about, like, who is it that shapes us and helps us? Like, are you surrounding yourself? And some of you guys out there maybe don't have a specific mentor or a coach or somebody that you're working with to help you push you past the place of your own.
You need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe, but one of the things things that we have gleaned from before I had a mentor, I had books, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I had people that I looked gleaned from through their message through books. So if you're watching out there, I want you guys to tell me what kind of books have inspired you and brought you to your next from a mindset place, right?
That.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you guys, what kind of books? Anybody have a favorite book?
Well, no, I want to just kind of go back to the first question. I have a keep it moving story. And
Okay.
no matter what comes along the way, you have to keep it moving. And as I mentioned earlier, I have 2 kids that are asthmatic. My daughter, I mean, when she has her attack, she goes straight to ICU. There's no in between trying to give her the breathing treatment. We go straight to ICU. And so I go in a zone when that happens.
Yeah.
And once I know she's okay, then I'm right back into work mode.
Yeah.
There was one time there was a situation where I do payroll. And you know how it is when employees don't get paid on payday.
It's a problem.
And my child decided to have an asthma attack and we in the hospital and I forgot to grab my laptop.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I saw the computer in the hospital, in the room.
Oh,
wow.
In the room.
And that's the room that I process payroll.
Wow.
The same woman who made the office out the closet.
Sometimes you have to be
You
creative
have to
about
be
those
creative and you
solutions.
just have to keep pushing,
Yeah.
no matter what.
And see, that's a great example of, you know, how a lot of times you're in a moment when you may have thought you were powerless, but you were most powerful because you had to focus on how can you get done what it is that you need to get done without the resources. And I think that's what we don't tap into all the time.
That's a part of the journey.
Is recognizing, because I know you're talking about books. One of the books I read earlier this year, maybe at the end of last year, The Power Broke by Damon. What's Fubu? He's on the Shark Tank. But I'm having a blind moment. But he talked about the power.
Damon,
broke.
is it Nash?
No. John. Thank you. I was going to call him Damon Johnson, but that's not his name. Anyway, Damon John, The Power Broke. But he talked about how, because he didn't have a lot of resources, how, you know, he was able to make an innovation because he didn't have everything that he had. And I think that's
Aren't we our most innovative when we don't have what we think we need?
And that's what we
Our
have
minds
to
have to
do.
be more creative.
Right.
And so they are. Because that's
Instead of
what we need.
focusing on, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that, this person didn't do that, you know, think about, well, what do you have? And the thing that you always have, you know, I think life really happens, you know, at the crossroads of ingenuity and insanity. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the different results. And the ingenuity, I believe, is doing something different and expecting great results. You don't know what's going to happen, you don't know if it's going to work out, but something's good.
That's a starting place, right? That's definitely.
And so you have to really tap into, I mean, your mind is very powerful in those moments where it looks like you don't have any choices or it looks like the odds are against you. You know, that's when you can come up with your best idea.
I can definitely attest to that. Like some of my best ideas have come from a place of what I thought was lack at the moment. So guys, if you are just now watching us, we are talking all about the journey of being an entrepreneur, being a womanpreneur, being a mompreneur, and how do we develop a business, a sustainable empire, and cherish those that we love at the same time. If you are watching out there, I want you to share this video out. Share it out with your friends, with your other women entrepreneurs that you know, or anybody who is trying to build or create anything. Share this video out with them and let them glean in on this conversation because there's so much value here. We have financial people that are going to help you with your finances. We have people that are going to help you with your emotional intelligence. Right? We have people who are going to help you mentally get past the programming, get past the things that we think that we're supposed to do in this life, and do the things that we really want to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes we get so trapped up in what we think that things are supposed to look like that we don't actually do those very things that we wanted to do in the first place, or that we set out to do. And granted, the situation is going to look a little bit different as we go through the journey. Sometimes we think we have an expected outcome, and along the journey, it changes. But change is not always bad. Let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about how do we stay flexible in the face of change?
Well, I'll tell you, it brings up a great point. I love that you brought up change because I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics.
Okay.
Your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is not your friend. Right? It is not your friend. Growth occurs outside of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is like an illusion. Right? It's this false reality that makes you feel cozy, and I know everything about the comfort zone. I know what's in here. I'm all good in here.
It's comfy.
But you know what? The good stuff is outside of the comfort zone. You've got to be able to push past that bubble to get to those things outside. But you know what starts to happen when you start creeping outside? Fear. Fear starts to set in, right? And you're going, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I should go back. Maybe I'm dreaming too big. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't think this way. But you've got to believe and keep walking forward, and all of those good things are out there waiting.
That makes me think of a story as well.
Before we jump into the story, we wanted to check in with our audience out there. See what they're doing, see where they're from. So I hope that you've been enjoying this conversation, but we want to know where you're from. What are some of the things that are really hitting home with you? And then also, we know, I know I'm being benefited from all of the good stuff that we're talking about here, and we're sure some other people are too, so make sure that you're sharing. So let me hear from you and know what it is you're doing. You know, we've got Laura Usanga who says, thanks for the dialogue. She's so unhappy with her workspace and not knowing what she would love to do. And she has a question about how do you find direction, or where should you be? And we've got, girl, you've come to the right place. But you've got some experts here. So we're going to come back to that question and make sure that we answer that. But I just wanted to hit on some other people. We've got Stacey Williams talking about that comfort zone that's been a trap. Forrest Lamb, thank you for joining us. He says being response plus able is equal to being responsible. And Amy Mills out there says believe in yourself. We've got Brennan Bessie, he says, hi.
He's always in Ghana.
All right, Colin from Ghana. All right, so we are going worldwide.
International.
Yes, we are international. So I do want to make sure, let's see, who else is joining? Rachel Bowens. Hi, Queen. Oh, hello. You know, my name's Stephanie. It means crown. When I respond to being called a queen. All right, she says just seeing us together is being inspired. And then Bernadette, a wonderful Bernadette Evans, who had to leave to get back. She says she wished she could be here. But let's get back to Lori's question, who's asking about how do you find your direction or where you should be if you're in an unhappy space?
So one of the things that you can do is really begin to get centered, and someone mentioned this earlier, to get quiet for a minute and begin to really think about who you are and what you want. And there's a bit of an exercise around that, and so I won't bore you with the details, but know that there's a process that you can go through to establish your business. So one of the first things that I recommend is that you sit down and you really paint your picture. I want you to fast forward 5 years, 10 years. Pretend money is no option. And then I want you to say, what does my life look like? This is your life. You have no barriers. You can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. What does that look like? Just jot it down, a few notes. But then what I want you to do is I want you to begin to think about your current state. What are you facing today? Because see, there's a gap between that 5-10 year vision and where you are today. And we must be real about this, right? This is real talk. This is not about fantasy. When I talk about the dream life, I am not talking about fantasy. So it is about closing that gap. Because when you recognize what those barriers are, then your brain begins to say, oh, how do I work through these? See, as long as you're not acknowledging those obstacles and just pretending that they don't exist or pretending that they're normal and they're okay, you don't have to push past them. But the minute you say, this is a barrier. It's stopping me from getting here. Now your brain does something different. It says, oh, it's time to go. I can fix this, and I can fix this. And it might take a little time because that's the reality that we live in. But that's a great place that you can begin to figure out who you are and what you want.
So the first thing is really about like deciding, like you said, that we, realizing what is the obstacle, right? And then finding those people to help us solve that problem. So you guys are all here because you had a problem, right? You're here because you recognize the need to really align yourself with some people that can help you get your next level. We're all brilliant at something, but we don't do everything, right? And so let's talk a little bit about, you guys are here helping to build and launch your businesses. All of you here have launched your businesses in some capacity or to a greater capacity, like even this weekend, right? So I want to talk to you guys for a second about what are some of the things that, what are some of the reasons that you decided to go ahead and work with Peak Performers Institute on your brand? Like, why did you need somebody to help you get to your next level?
Well, you hit the nail on the head a little in your previous comment. Sometimes you have to recognize what you are an expert at doing and where you need experts to help you.
Because all experts need experts.
Yes, all experts need experts.
Right.
And so, I think a lot of times, especially women, because we can do a lot. I mean, we can bear children. I mean, we do some pretty awesome things, right?
With nurses, with doctors, with whatever we need to be in the moment.
Fill all of these roles, and I think a lot of times we think that because we can do it all, that we should do it all.
Yes, everything that you're good at, you guys, is not necessarily everything that you should be having your hands in.
One statement that has freed me this weekend by Mr. Trevor Ox, he teaches this, is that the answer to who doesn't have to be you. It does not have to be you.
And that is a revelation.
Oh my God.
A weight lifted off of us.
Because that's some wings.
Right. How many of us can do something just because you can do it doesn't mean that we should be doing it. That is the best use of our time. We're building businesses and you want to focus on those things that are helping you creatively get to where you're trying to go. But you don't want to be all departments. You don't want to be the sales department, the branding department, the marketing department. You know what I mean? You're like everything, customer service, business admin, operations. It gets to be so much. And definitely not a one-woman series. Right.
That's why I like to think about it about being a CEO.
What was that? The
only
not CEO, but
the only operating officer.
You're doing everything.
That's why I like to think of it as, being the CEO of your life. Because if you think about a CEO in a company, they're not doing everything. They are working with strategic partners. They are coming up with ideas and building those teams. And we have
supporting their teams.
And the reason why I came to work with Peak Performance Institute is because I had to realize I could only get so far with what I knew.
Absolutely.
And so I knew, okay, I'm doing pretty good, but I knew that there was more. And I did not have the answers, and I really didn't want to take the time to find out the answers. I wanted to leverage the expertise of someone else.
So cut the learning curve.
Thank you.
Cut the learning curve.
I like PPI because they had the knowledge that I didn't have. So I leveraged their experiences. I leveraged their expertise to help me to get to where I wanted to go.
Okay. Absolutely. And so what are some of the things that you What are some of the things?
That's our mentors talking to us right now.
Right. So, what are some of your biggest takeaways from this weekend? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay.
This is my biggest takeaway. You all are my biggest takeaway, and we've chock full of information and knowledge, things that we can apply tonight if we want to when we left here. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's been absolutely amazing. So the network for me is the biggest thing. I've learned sales techniques. I've learned infrastructure, which I don't even know. Did I know that word? Get out of here. That's awesome. I'm not sure I knew that word. Maybe I did, but so I've learned all of that good stuff. But my sisters and this foundation, this is my biggest. Each unique gift represented here. And me being blessed and having the privilege to sit in the midst of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm walking proud. Yeah. That's my take.
And kind of as a pickup, I mean, piggyback from it. Thank you. See, that's how we work together.
That's right.
How we work together. But the power of community.
Yes.
And not only being surrounded by others, but being surrounded by the right people.
Come on now.
Because you are only as good as your environment. And so, we don't have the choice of who our parents are or who our relatives are, but we always have the choice of how we allow others
who's
to
on your team.
Who's on your team. And I think, one of the biggest takeaways is just the power of community and being surrounded by like-minded people who are they're on their own journey, but the journey looks a lot like yours.
Yeah, some of the
and so they
processes
understand you. And so where you may say something in another environment and it be totally foreign
Yeah.
to that group of people. They're good people, they're
Yeah.
great people, but
They
it's
just
foreign
look
to
at
them because
you.
that's not their journey.
Right.
To be in an environment where when you say something like, girl, I know what you're talking about, I understand it, that makes sense to me.
So one of the things that I've learned this weekend, and that I'm so honored to be here with this group of amazing women and this peak performers team, is that, you know, there is so much power in recognizing that you don't have to do it all. You should not be doing it all.
Yes.
The infrastructure is key to your success. If your processes in your business are not sustainable,
Right.
what happens if you get sick? What happens if tomorrow, let's say you've got to go off and care for a child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to your business? And
Yes.
so that part is so very important to us. And I think when we begin to realize that, then we recognize that the information that we have to share
Yes.
is so very powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone out there
So
needs
glad
that
you said
information.
that.
And you know what?
Yes.
It's selfish of me to not
Yeah.
do all
Yes.
that I can to work with an amazing team to help me get that message out.
That give us a
Every one of
Shane
us
talks
with a
about.
message, we are worth it.
Yeah, we all have a specific contribution, and maybe some of you are thinking about like, building your businesses, and you're realizing I need the help. You know what I mean? I need the leadership to really help me take me from point A, where I am right now, to point B, where I want to be.
Yes.
If that's you, you guys, I want you to text makeover to 202-270-1662. That number again, 202-270-1662. We've been sitting here chatting about what does it take to help us get to our next level from a mindset perspective, from a environment and
Yes.
atmosphere perspective.
Yes.
So if that's you, again, you guys text makeover to 202-270-1662. That
And
being said,
makeover is spelled M-A-K-E-O-V-E-R.
That's awesome. Right. So we're celebrating, right, guys? We are celebrating our
Absolutely.
new mindset, our new brands, of, you know, showing up authentically in the spaces that we are, showing up powerfully. And to help with our celebratory drinks.
Oh
What are we drinking?
goodness.
What are we drinking?
All right, thank you.
Treated as the princess
Anytime,
we
you
are.
guys, yes, thank you. Anytime we're able to get, anytime we have an opportunity.
I feel it's time for me to start serving the ladies. Right? This is good practice.
Look at this.
There we go. You
I got the bottle. You look at the bottle. Right.
Take notes, man.
Anytime we get
Thank
an
you.
We have
opportunity.
two that we're celebrating with.
Anytime we get an opportunity to have guy service, it is a celebration.
Yeah.
Right? To success. I love it, you guys. To success, to living unapologetically in the spaces that you're in. Today can be your day, you guys. Today can be the start of an unapologetic journey and really discovering who I am. What is my contribution to this space? What do I want that to look like? And really collaborating with other people who have the kind of same mindset as you. Some of you out there are building your business right now. You're thinking, man, if I could only get into spaces with women who believe like I believe, who think like I think, who can, you know, help me create those things, right? We did toast.
We did.
We were talking about toast. So, you know, so guys, like, this is an opportunity. This is the second quarter, but for some of you, this is a revelation like experience, right? You're realizing for the first time that maybe I can have what I want in this life. Maybe it can look the way that I thought it could look in my mind, right? Go ahead, Steph.
Because, just on that point, you don't have to start your new year in January.
Yes.
A lot of times we think, okay, we've got to wait till the new year. We've got to wait till the new quarter. If you have been moved in your spirit today, and you need to do something, then get up and do it. I mean, there never is a right time.
Right now.
And really, you've got to move when the spirit is moving in you, or you will allow those doubts. Those
how many times have you been
fears
inspired to
keep you
do
going.
something and then you sat on it and then you were like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do
The
it.
energy
Later,
right.
and later turns into
Yeah.
next quarter, into next quarter, into next quarter,
Yeah.
and you don't ever do anything,
Yeah.
you guys. So I would hate to see that happen to you. So sometimes you just need to align yourself with the right people. Sometimes you just need to put yourself intentionally into spaces that you know can help you grow,
Yeah,
right? And so that's what this is all about,
And
you
they
guys.
should call the number just to have the conversation.
Right, let's have a
You
conversation.
may not know what it is,
Asking
but
what's the
just
number for?
Okay, so the number is
No, they're asking what is it for? Why are they calling it in? And then tell them.
good. Okay, so this is about finding other people that can help lead me. Now let's talk about the difference between when you hire somebody for leadership or for help. Okay. When you are looking to someone to help you with something, that means you already have the vision. You just need my assistance on the process, right? But sometimes in business, we are looking for people to help us, but what we're really asking for is leadership. Because we know that what we're trying to, the goal that we're trying to accomplish, we really don't know how to get there, right? We don't have the vision for that. Yes, and the execution, right.
Strategy.
So this is about, finding people that can help lead you into those things that you know that you're supposed to be in, right? Those places that you know you're supposed to go. And you have this dream, you have this vision, you have these elements and fragments really of certain things that you know should work if you could only pick, other pieces, put the pieces together. This is about putting the pieces together. This is about finding people that can
get
help
that
you do
leadership from people who have done it.
Thank you. Yes.
Please stop going to your Uncle Tony.
Right.
Talking about take care of my media, Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony, that is not his specialty.
Right. And so we talked a little bit about how you're showing up, right? And talked a little bit about
you are a master at that, Miss.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We talked a little bit about what that means for your brand, right? And really helping people getting people to a place of where people are looking at our brands and expecting a high quality result, expecting those things that we know about our businesses, right? Helping get other people to see those things. Go ahead.
Because I just wanted to say something, just picking up on, piggybacking on why I can't get that right today. Piggybacking on your conversation about Uncle Tony, sometimes we look for the hookup, and we've got to realize that the hookup is really going to jack us up. There's really another word I could use, but we've got to stop looking for the hookup and be willing to invest in ourselves and in our vision.
And let me say this. It's about being willing to pay for the level at which you expect to play, right?
Say it again.
Being willing to pay for the level at which you expect to play.
Yes.
Right.
Write
that down.
Yes.
Write that down. Hashtag be willing to pay at the level at which you expect to play.
You should say in the comments.
Everybody write that down. Hashtag Rhonda.
Rhonda Williams.
Are they showing up? Are they writing it?
Quotes. A lot of people have been asking they're joining us late and they don't know who we are.
Let's reintroduce.
This is a good time to do a shout out and tell. So we're gonna start with.
I'm waiting for somebody to write that. I'm waiting for someone to write. Who's gonna be the first person to write that?
Okay, guys, hold on. If you're just now joining us, and you're like, who are all these beautiful women on the couch, and what are they talking about? And I just feel like I'm just gaining so much value in this little space, but I just want to know who you are. Right now, what we're going to do is reintroduce the panel of beautiful ladies to you, women, entrepreneurs, powerful women in their space, and influencers. I want to go allow you guys the opportunity to go ahead and reintroduce yourself to the group. And if you guys are watching out there right now and you see this video, you're like, man, these girls are dope, this content is dope, then you want to hit the share button and make sure that you share it with your friends. So we're celebrating other women. We're talking all about celebrating the journey of the woman entrepreneur and really talking through this process of what does it take to develop a sustainable business and a scalable business and aligning ourselves with the people that we need to help us get there. So go ahead and introduce yourself again, ladies. I'm going to start with you, Rhonda. Rhonda is somebody that you need to know, FYI. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm Rhonda Williams, the Dream Life coach and an emotional intelligence expert. And I'm with Dream Life University, and my goal, my passion, is to help you find the power of emotion. We all have it. There's a way to use it to be the springboard to your success.
I love it.
Hi everyone, I'm Edeline Francois Dryden, owner of Dryden Tax and Accounting Services in Atlanta, Georgia, and also the founder of Women Entrepreneurs Rock. We Rock.
Love it.
I am Tammy Turner. I am a 15-year veteran singer, actress, producer, and I have created a network for the empowerment of women called the Freedom Women's Network. Check me out on Facebook. We're going to be setting some women free from some of those prisons that we build in our own minds that keep us from living that life of destiny that we want.
I love
that.
that.
Financial freedom, belief, self-love, that is just so important. So,
Boomy?
boom, boom.
Hi, I'm Boomy Moore, the Boomy Moore, the only Boomy Moore on Facebook.
Boom, boom.
And I'm the founder of Power Personified. So I help women and men to tap into that God-given power that's resident in all of us to help us to overcome life's challenges and obstacles, things that we all go through, so that we can go ahead and do, be, and have that which we were called to, why we showed up on earth to serve that purpose. So walk in that power with every step you take it in power.
Okay.
Yes.
And I am Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes with C-Suite Women's Network. And I want to help women to realize, to recognize, and celebrate that they are the CEOs of their lives. I'm trying to get you in a C-suite state of mind.
Yes.
And the thing that's important to remember about being a CEO is you are coming up with ideas, you're setting strategies, you're making things happen. So I want to help women to make things happen and get those things done.
I love it. And of course, I'm Kimberly Flowers, the visual branding editor.
And wait a minute, I want us to toast to.
Hold on, let me
the
introduce
women.
myself. Look, I guess you think right.
I'm good.
Thank you.
I've been talking too much. I drank today. Yes.
All right, you guys.
Thank you.
So we're talking all about celebrating the journey of the womanpreneur. I'm Kimberly Flowers, by the way, the visual branding expert. I'm all about helping you to align your awesome and amazing business, the things that you know about your company, with those things that you want to be known for, you guys. Today we are celebrating. We are launching. You guys have launched your businesses today. It's a big deal. And we're just really... What are we doing? Okay. Okay. We're celebrating the journey, right? And we are freeing ourselves in this moment, in this time, in this space. We are deciding to be very intentional. I want you guys to hit the share button right now. Hit the share button and share this message
Are they
of
sharing
celebrating
stuff?
other women
Let me see.
to whomever you know that needs to watch this. Sometimes the liberating fact as you watch other people decide in this moment. You're killing me. In and of this moment, as you watch other people like talking about these things and going through these things, sometimes it helps to say, you know what, these people's story is my story. Right? Sometimes their story is my story. That's why we're telling our stories today. We're talking a lot about the challenges and things that we're facing, and we're talking about how we're overcoming those things, and a lot of it really has to do with coming outside of our programming and rewiring, right? What we think about what should be, and really do what we know we have in our heart to do. Go ahead, Steph.
Because you were talking about celebrating being a woman entrepreneur. One of the things that I want people to remember is you don't have to wait for the big thing to happen to celebrate. And I remember, let's see, this was in 2004. I moved to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I had just, 2005, had just redecorated my house. We just bought a house, redecorated my house. 2 weeks later, Hurricane Katrina hit. And so I lost the entire bottom floor of my house.
Wow.
And it just redecorated. I mean, my mom's a seamstress, had all this custom stuff, all my antiques, all my shoes and downstairs.
You heard me. You heard me.
Right, we're like antiques. She said the shoes. We were like,
oh, my shoes and purses. But anyway, this was devastating. It was devastating to my family. It was devastating because I lost all my shoes and purses. But anyway, but one of the things that really helped me to get through that was, my house was in a mess. I mean, people's lives had been lost in that area. I mean, I was fortunate. At least I had a house to fix up. There were people who were slabbed. Nothing was there. They lost everything. But the thing that I had to learn was to celebrate. I found something to celebrate every day. And I remember the first thing I celebrated was the Sonic opened up. The Sonic opened back up after the storm, and I went and got me a Oreo blast. And so this is after days of no heat, no air, cleaning out a stinky, nasty, flooded home. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate getting an Oreo blast. And so that helped me.
Yeah.
After that day, I'm a journaler. I write in my journal. And so every day I said, I'm going to come up with one something to celebrate. So that day was that Oreo blast.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the next
that's
day,
good.
it was something else. And I remember I had a real big party with myself the day that the air came back on. But you have to celebrate the small victories. And
Yes.
sometimes, I'm telling you, sometimes the victory is that you just didn't give up. That you just kept going.
good.
That you made it to be thinking about what you could celebrate. So it's all about being deliberate and looking for something to celebrate.
I love that. And as we're talking about celebrating the journey, right? And all of the journey is a makeup. It's taken us where we are now. The good stuff, the bad stuff, right? It's brought us to this place that we are right now, helping other people solve a similar problem. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this problem. What you have some people on
I was just going to mention this because we have her coming. Thank you so much to Miko. She was just telling us, we're so excited and have so much to say. She says, please only talk one person at a time. She can't hear us.
Yes.
So thank you so much to Miko for letting us know. Thank you much for being a part. And ladies, let's try to hold our exuberance back so they can hear us. Thank you.
We have some ladies with mad energy up here, okay?
Yes.
I've lost control of the whole situation. But it's totally fine. I love it.
Energy, vibration.
Yes. So we're talking about celebrating those things, those high points, those wins, and our losses, right? We have to celebrate both of them because they brought us now, those things bring us to where we are right now, serving those people that we're called to serve, right? And it's the reason why we have our businesses, because we solve a problem for someone else now. Maybe for some of us, the very same problem we started out having. Right? And so some of you, as you're building your own businesses, you're thinking about maybe how you're going to position your brand in the marketplace and stuff like that. One of the things that you can start looking at is what are some of the problems that you're facing now, or what are some of the solutions that you've just discovered. Like as you begin to discover solutions, one of the best ways to retain those things is to teach them to other people, right? So even me, like with visual branding and all that stuff, people, they started out as a problem that I had. I was trying to figure out certain things, right? My curiosity. I'm technically Kimberly Curious Flowers because that's my middle name is Curiosity. But it's trying to solve those problems, figuring them out, Then people started asking me, Kimberly, well, how'd you do that? You know what I mean? How'd you get your stuff to look like that? How'd you get your brand to do that? Like what camera do you use? And those became solutions, right? Solutions to other people's problems when a business was born. Yeah. And so sometimes it's within those very solutions that we're able to help solve problems for other people. But if I never had the problem, I wouldn't have been able to solve it for somebody else. Yeah. Right? I would have never been able to solve that problem because I would have maybe not discovered the need for it. And so I want to talk to you, each of you ladies, for a moment about some of the problems that you help solve in the marketplace, right? Because this is the brand story, which is this part that I love, is because my whole curiosity, my curious nature just brings me to these questions. Well, how'd you get started? Well, what happened then? Oh, really, what happened then? I'm very curious. But I want to ask you guys, like, how did you, what is the number one what is the number one problem that your business helps solve in the marketplace? And how did you, decide this was something that you're going to contribute your value to?
For me, I lost my job, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I just moved to Atlanta, and after three months being here in Atlanta, I found out that I was pregnant. Okay. Not realizing Atlanta was an at-will state, they let me go. After I told them that I was pregnant. So that's when I started my business, in the closet. I really had to create my own destiny at the time because I knew I didn't want to move back to New York. And so now I help other women start their business, start and grow and sustain profitable businesses. And so,
so your solution started with your own problem, right? And now you're helping solve.
And that's usually the case because a lot of times we have, as women, we just have great ideas. We're just CEOs, and we have great ideas, and we can take those ideas into the marketplace, but we don't realize that we can do that because we're not appreciated in the marketplace. And that's why it's so important to collaborate with other people and to find the great leaders that's going to help you execute your vision and your dreams that you have.
So now it's all about being solutions minded, right?
Yes,
and this is the thing that serves us, I think, in our businesses, and not just in our businesses, in our life. Like, I teach my clients to be problem solvers because and add value. Like, always add value, because there's always a seat at the table for someone who is adding value. You're either adding value or you're taking up space. You're either adding value or you're taking up space. You're either adding value or you're taking up space, right? Exactly. And so this is how we build empires. Empires come from thoughts that were bred from ideas that we just happened to have because we were having a problem about something, right? And so now we're providing solutions. Now we're providing results for people because the solution worked, right? Yes. And we were able to get proof of concept for those things, and like now we're able to tell them, oh yeah, this is actually what works for you. Da, da, da. This is what worked for me. This is what worked for my clients. Da, da, da. And now we can serve people. So let's talk a little bit about how. Now I'm really fascinated. Okay. I am, because I talk about, first of all, like when you're building your businesses, like using the art of curiosity and fascination to help you get the message out, right? And so I love that you have a fascinating business in general. When we're talking about emotional intelligence, like sometimes most people think about emotional intelligence as something that you either have or you don't. But you're basically saying that that's a learned skill, right? So let's talk to us a little bit about how did you come up with a business that teaches people how to stay calm in the midst of chaos and stay cool in the midst of drama. Like, where did that come from? That sounds like a story, yeah?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, for so long, I was on a course, and I think I was living the programmed course.
Okay.
Right? Do this. Oh, next you should do this. Now you should go here. Okay. Now you should do this. So I'm on the program course, and it took some pretty significant events in my life. I was in the middle of a racially charged situation in my hospital where I was the CEO.
In your hospital?
In my hospital. And I was the CEO in this hospital, and this crazy racial situation came up too. And it received national media attention. I mean, it was crazy. There were protesters driving through the parking lot calling us unpatriotic. We were getting phone calls nationally from CNN and Lou Dobbs. Does anybody remember Lou Dobbs? Where is he today? I don't even know. But we were getting these phone calls. And so through this, I ended up losing my job with this company that I had worked for nearly 20 years.
Nearly 20 years.
Building up a stellar reputation, putting in the work.
Time
to go.
Right.
Putting in
Girl,
the work.
you ladies have had enough. Don't put the cap on us.
They said we get too relaxed.
Yes, that's enough.
Relaxing us. Right. You're like, you're done. Right. We're telling the brand story. This is important. Figuring out, like, I mean, okay, so we can have, there's going to be moments and seasons for like what we're talking about, and we can be high, but here's the thing, like, I think this part is important because as you're watching, you guys, as you're listening to the stories that make up these amazing brands, these successful women, these, you know, this starts from a place of, you know, solving a problem starts from usually having a problem yourself, right? So I think it's important because I want you guys to be thinking about what is it that maybe I can contribute to the marketplace based on solving a problem. Like, what problems am I facing now? What problem solutions have I discovered that I can now teach other people, right? So we're talking about this. So I want you to tell us, you know, in a kind of brief summary of like how you were in this situation. It turned out to be something that you lost your job as well. Lost your job sounds like a good excuse to start a business.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
What happened?
So I went through this situation, picked myself back up, right? That's what we do. We pick it up and we keep moving. Went through the next situation that was even more devastating when I ended up finding out that my husband was cheating. And I am not blaming anyone. There are always two sides to a story. But when this happened, again, I was feeling knocked down, had to get back up. Well, I decided to get back up pretty quickly from this one. And I decided, you know what? I am not staying with my products. She's talking about the fact that I'm also the founder of Spoiled Naturally Natural Bath and Body Products. And that came out of this process. So when I got back up the second time after this divorce, people were saying to me, how are you doing this? Okay, you just went through two pretty devastating events. What's happening? What I began to realize is that I was making a choice to look forward and not look back. Regardless of what the situation was, I was looking forward, and that was an intentional choice that I was making.
I love
and
that.
So
It's an intentional choice.
It's intentional. So I really decided that, you know what? people don't know how to do this. This is something that I can share. This is something that I can help others with. And I really began to put the pieces together, and I realized one of the reasons I was looking forward is because of my foundation of emotional intelligence.
Wow.
At the time, I had no idea what it was called. I just know it was something I was doing.
Yeah.
So then I later began through my process of learning and researching that is exactly what it was. So I began to focus on helping others make intentional choices to look forward, to decide what that forward was, and then to use EQ in a very intentional way to be successful in their own lives.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
That
Boomy is booming. What's happening over there?
Okay, so my problem was that I was broke.
Okay.
I mean, just, oh my goodness, just the financial struggle. And what's that book you said, The Power of Broke?
Yeah, Power of
Okay,
Broke, yeah.
broke is like really powerful. So 5 kids,
Powerful
no money,
motivator, yes.
Section 8 WIC, doing that whole thing, right?
Okay.
And then I'm like, I get this idea one day, I'm like, okay, I want a house. I want my kids to be in a safe neighborhood and nice land and a nice, beautiful home. I had no money. And it just had bad credit.
Right.
None of the conditions were right.
Okay.
But I knew what it was that I wanted. And so I said, look, I started doing what you said, reading books and finding mentors. And I found some techniques that took me from 3 kids in one bed to a 3-acre home. When I started out, I had no money, I had nothing, none of the conditions, but I learned some things that had to do with, as you said, finding my power, taking steps despite what things look like, and I really got really good at manifesting. And I was broke at one point, 3 years later with 6-figure income. Wanted to have a nanny to come live with me from South Africa, right? They said, oh no, you can't get anyone from Africa through this program. It rarely happens. But I used my mind power, used the technique, and guess what? The person who called me, she was from Africa.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I really learned these manifestation skills, right? And I was able to take these things, you test them out, you're like, is this real? Does it work? And I started working that thing, right? And I got good at it. I'm like, I gotta teach people this. Because everybody goes through periods of broke, and people like don't have a house, they want a house for their kids. I was able to do it. People, say, man, I'm so broke, I don't have enough money to last me throughout the month, right? But you can get into that 6-figure income. I was able to do it. So I just said, I just got to teach people this. There are certain steps that if you follow, certain mindsets that if you have, you can bring things together and change your life. And I love helping people. I love seeing people's lives change. I got to teach this.
And I love that because when you find a solution to anything, like you get this joy, this level of like, you see her, all this energy, she's talking about it because it's a passion now. It becomes like something that like, man, you're having this problem, like you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got the very solution. Oh, I got you. You know what I mean? Oh, actually, all you need to do is this, right? And so sometimes it's within those problems that we're facing that we find these solutions that are just so helpful to other people. So be thinking about how can I provide value to the people that I want to serve, right? What are some of the things that other people are facing right now that I can provide solution to, right? If you can relate, I want you guys to type, yes you can, hashtag Black CEO. Again, if you can relate to this, type yes you can. Hashtag Black CEO. Yes you can.
Hearing, just piggybacking off of both of these amazing sisters and their stories. When I was 7 years, first of all, my mom was a singer. So
your mom was a singer?
My mom is a singer.
It's in the blood.
She's very good.
Blood.
Sandra Dixon. And I would follow her around as a little girl from church to church. They would do the big, choir thing, and we would go around from auditorium to auditorium and that sort of thing. And I guess when I was about eight or so years old, maybe 7 or 8, I don't know, maybe 9, I can't remember, one of those. I had gone to a rehearsal with my mother, and the choir had began, and they were singing, and I was standing there, and I was in the alto section, and I didn't even know, but I had begun singing. Excuse me.
Wait, just real quick.
Okay.
Lori says, what is the woman's name speaking in the white pants? That's you.
Boomy Moore. Boomy Moore.
All right, awesome. And so
Moore.
Kiara says the power of broke. Chelsea says, yes, you can. Stacy Williams says, yes, you can. Lori says, yes, you can. Tamiko says, yes, you can. You guys are interacting with us. All right. Andrea says, yes, you can. Shanika. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ruben and West. If y'all don't know Ruben, follow Ruben. He's
Hey,
awesome.
Ruben!
Thank you, Ruben. Hey, ladies, it's Ruben. You guys are powerful. You're powerful.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so Monica, Wynn, Agnes. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Finish.
Welcome.
Oh, I totally interrupted you, but I just want, they were talking to us. So
Hey guys.
we have to definitely give love, so we wanted to give love to you.
Okay.
We see you out there. Thank you for joining us.
So just real quick, he stopped the choir from singing, and he looked at me and he said, "Excuse me, can you be quiet? Just don't say anything." So the choir began to sing again. Now anyone who knows me know that I sing just like breathing, right? Like I don't even know.
Think about it. You don't even know you're doing
I don't even know I'm doing it. So I had begun singing again. I mean, it just started coming out. He stops the choir again. He looks at me, at my 8, 9-year-old self, and he says, "Excuse me, can you be quiet because you can't sing?"
Oh, wow.
Dang.
And he's a very prominent director. Even now, he said that to me. What I did not realize was how that had gone, how I had allowed that to become the definition of who I was. That's why for so many years I said, no, I really can't sing, or, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then I finally woke up one day and I came up with this quote. Don't allow someone else's opinion of you to become the definition that you give yourself.
I love that.
And I had to walk in that and sleep in that and eat in that. Now this man who said I could not sing, let me tell you where God has taken my feet. He's taken my feet to the Apollo in New York. He's taken my feet to the Lincoln Theater, to the Meyerhoff, to the Lyric Opera House, to the stages at BET, Sunday. But if I had stayed in that, again, I had to go back and find my power.
Find your power.
I had to take it back. You know what I'm saying?
I truly believe that the Lord puts us in situations that we can either grow from, or allow to just derail us. You know what I mean? But sometimes we don't understand why things are happening as they're happening. But it's in these moments, they're teachable moments, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, anybody who can hear you can know that you can sing. You know what I mean?
And why would you say that to a child anyway?
Right. All right.
Like a 7 or 8 year old.
Let him hear you. Let him hear you.
Let
him hear you.
Though the winds blow against me, they can't stop me. Y'all clap. They may try to hinder me, but they can't. Don't
like
clap. Those things may try to hinder me, but they can't block me. No, 'cause I can see the sun, battle already won, victory has come, and I see the light in God's eyes.
You better wow, beautiful voice.
They don't know him, so I said that's why I said he. You know, God's eyes. Listen, he knows the song.
Listen, bro. Okay, so we have Agnes says, "Wow, beautiful voice."
Thank you, Agnes.
I love y'all's energy. I really needed this right now. Pakisha says, "You better sing, girl." Allison says, "Sing."
Come on now.
Sabrina says, "Wow, beautiful voice, excellent
Thank
message."
you.
Charity says, "Victory." Diane says, "Yes." And Rebecca says, "Sang." Tamiko says, "Love it." We love that you guys are out there and interacting. This is totally awesome. Allison Bird says, "Go Tammy." You better go, Tammy.
That's my friend. What's up, Allison? I love watching Allison.
That's
Oh my
awesome,
God.
you guys. So we're talking all about finding your power. So I want you guys to write in the comment section, find your power.
Find your power.
Because it's within these challenges, within these circumstances in our life that are meant to either derail us or propel us.
Yes.
They're meant to derail us or propel us. I want you guys to put in the description of find your power, hashtag Black CEO. Of course, we can't forget the hashtag, you guys. Hashtag Black CEO, find your power. And we're talking all about what does it take to find your power in the midst of all of these things. Stephanie has something to say. What do you got?
Most definitely.
Well, okay, so my story is a little bit different. It kind of started in a selfish place.
Okay.
Because, I help women to be CEOs, and it started because I wanted to be a CEO. And I was at this point in my career, I'm a former healthcare executive, corporate attorney. I had a really great career, and I wanted to take it higher. And, things weren't going the way I wanted them to go. And so in my mind, if I wanted control over my life, I needed to be a CEO in a company. And I literally remember calling up one of my mentors, and the conversation was, I want to be a CEO. Can you help me be one? And I remember the pause on the other end of the line, and I can imagine her face now. It's like, what, you want to be a CEO of what? What kind of company? I said, I don't care, nonprofit, for-profit, whatever. I just want to be a CEO.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, there's this position that's coming open, and I'm going to recommend you for it. Send me your I'm going to tell you who to send your resume to and all that. So I do that, and, I got a great resume. I've done some great things, and so I send it to them. I don't get the job. I'm like, what do you mean? I need to get an interview. I need to get an interview. So, I didn't get an interview. So I'm like, well, dang, what's up with you? You can't at least give me an interview and see how fabulous I am. So, I don't get the interview.
If you only saw me, you would change your mind.
Right. What's up with you?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I still want to be a CEO. And so somewhere along the line, I read that CEOs, read 45 books. I think it's a month, a week, or something. I don't know. They read a lot of books.
Okay.
So I started reading books. And so over the course of time, I read, about 100 books. And so in reading these books, I began to realize that I didn't really want to be a CEO as much as I wanted better influence or more influence over my life and to make an impact. And so I learned a lot of things, and it helped me to transform my career, and I became better at what I did. And then one day I realized that, I was I was literally sitting around the board table, and I realized, I'm the only woman sitting at this table. And I know that there are more women in this company who are talented and qualified. And so, there ought to be more women at this table, literally and figuratively. So I went to my CEO and I asked him, I said, can I start? Well, I asked the question, why aren't there more women in leadership? And kind of the question that comes back when anytime this question is posed to a CEO a lot of times is, well, there aren't enough women qualified. Well, I knew that wasn't the case because they just hadn't been discovered.
Right.
And so eventually I asked him to allow me to start a leadership program. And I said, looking at the numbers, because I approached it with facts, there are this number of women in this organization, they're underrepresented in leadership, so why don't we allow the first class to be for women only?
Right.
And he agreed. And so in doing that, that's when I discovered, wow, I really love this.
Yes.
And so it went from a very selfish place to a place where I recognized that I was in a position of power where I could help others.
Yes.
And so I was able to mentor and help other women and other men, because men eventually went through this program as well. And I used that to launch where I am today with C-Suite Women's Network. So a lot of times you can start from a very selfish place and you're trying to help yourself.
Yeah.
But, God has a way of intervening.
Yes,
that,
absolutely.
and many times, because again, when you bring things to the marketplace, it's not really about you, what you want.
Business is not about
it's not. You're solving a problem for somewhere else.
Right.
And so I solve problems for companies and helping them to have more black women and black CEOs, more women, more minorities in their leadership pipeline. I solve a problem for women specifically with helping them to figure out how to get in the leadership pipeline, or sometimes they get all the way out the company and start their own business. So, even though right now you may be looking at your situation and thinking, well, woe is me, I don't have this, I don't have that, you better believe that in your problem is somebody's solution. And so all of us have shown where
these
you
stories
can turn
have
that
brought
into
them
a business.
brought us where we are now, right? So we talked about like family, we talked about balancing our empires and our family situations and those that we love, our friendships and all that kind of stuff. I want to talk a little bit about spirituality. Is that okay? And I want to talk a little bit about like what is it that do you guys have like any thoughts about like how does spirituality take a part in contributing factor in your businesses, right?
It's key. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Key.
So talk to me about a time where you just were like, could rely on no more of your strength.
Oh.
And
every day.
Right. Talk to me about, but this is an important factor, right? I think that a lot of people maybe miss too, because we can only go so far. Right. In our own strength, we can only go so far. And with our own knowledge, we can only go so far. So we talked about being able to ask for help. And sometimes that help is a person, and then sometimes it's the Spirit of God, straight up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
So we have to be acknowledging, like, coming to a place of acknowledgement that I need maybe some assistance here.
Yes.
And I want you guys to talk about maybe in your own lives, in your own businesses. Why is that thing following me? In your own lives and in your own businesses, like maybe where that took played a part.
Yeah.
With me.
Well, spirituality is everything, because we are spiritual beings.
Yeah, let's take a holistic.
That's how we have to look at
No,
this.
seriously.
What is the real essence of us? This is our body, it's physical, it's going to go away one day. But our spirit man will always be here. Always was and always will be. In fact, I wrote a poem called Spirit is Me. So one of the things I do is I teach people how to tap into that spirit, their spiritual powers.
Yeah.
We all have them. And so I remember,
And a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, they do.
They don't think that that's like a real thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like,
Even you were talking about books. So Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill interviewed him. There was this book called Think Your Way to Wealth.
Right.
So we even go way back to those times. He said you got to have that spiritual connection with the one who started it all.
Right.
The one who created everything, who created you. Everything that's ever been made was created by him. There's nothing that has been made that he's not a part of, whether it's us, whether it looks like something physical. This table, his spirit is in every.
Yes. And so what does that mean for our ability?
What that mean? Oh my goodness! It means
what does that mean for our ability?
That's why my tagline is "You're more powerful than you know."
Yes.
Because if you really knew who you were, you would just be laying on the floor, prostrate in amazement of yourself. That's why we need to come to that awareness of who we are. I created these bands called "I Am Powerful."
Okay.
And I give these bands to people. People purchase them as a reminder of how powerful they are.
Yeah.
But it starts with that spiritual side of you that is not restricted by the physical body,
right?
Which, as we said, is creative, which can overcome every single thing,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Which can go through time and space.
Yeah.
I mean, we have all of these real, true, creative, God-given spiritual powers.
Abilities,
so
yeah.
that is okay. I said all of that to them.
No,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
fine,
It's everything.
Yeah, because we're just, I mean, they're peering in, and thank you guys for so much for engaging with us. We love having you. But we're just having an authentic conversation about, some of the challenges that we face, some of the ways that we've overcome some of those challenges, how spirituality plays a part.
And it's not religion.
Yes,
it's different.
there's a difference between religion and relationship,
Right.
but we're not talking about, religion, because, there's a difference between religion and relationship.
Yes, there is.
Right. Because that's such a very powerful question, because, I know, I was going to say I don't think, I know that I would not have gotten through the past 3 years but for the grace of God. And, I am a very smart woman. I've done some great things. I can do a lot of great things. But one of the things that I had to recognize is that I can't do everything by myself. And that a lot of the
Tammy
things...
Singh never would have made it.
Yeah, never would have made it.
Never would have made it.
Yes.
Never would have made it without you, Lord.
And a lot of times,
I would have you like, yes.
Give me some visual brain.
My saying for the past year is that God took away from me what I would not let go. And, a lot of times we hold them. We talk about comfort zone. We talk about different situations. And, these were things that were very comfortable. And I literally had to be snatched from my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I mean, if I look, how my life is today is not how I planned it.
Yeah.
And, I've had that conversation over and over again with myself. How did I get here? This is not the way things were supposed to work out.
How many of us have been there, right? This was not the way it was supposed to go.
Last forever. My business was supposed to go exactly like this.
Yes.
None of that.
Thank God for flexibility to change. Jesus.
Not there. Okay, so
Right.
and I began to even say, I don't even trust my decisions anymore
Charity
because
said,
everything.
Hold up. Charity said, would have lost it all. We're talking about never would have made it. She
Yeah,
never would have lost it all. I would have lost it all.
Yeah, and the thing I had to
Joan,
realize.
What's up, Joan?
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to give love to people because they're talking to us. So, okay, real quick, since I interrupted you. Okay, so Gab says, I love this. Erica says, this boot camp going on my vision board. This training is amazing. Hey, text makeover to 202-270-1662 if that's you guys and you're thinking about, man, it's my time. I know I need to like start building my brand differently. I need to start positioning myself differently. I need to get the infrastructure and everything that I need. See, he's telling me to hype down, type up.
I know.
He's got me on all this like, man, let me flow, bro. Okay, look. So Angela says, when you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. Zig Ziglar. Yes, that's awesome. Vanetta says, blessings to all of you successful and powerful young women, a new generation of positive black power. Absolutely. Diane says, amen. Forrest Lamb says, your gifts will make room for you and create opportunities before you because every man and woman has been given gifts. If you fail to see opportunities opening before, you're not using your gift. That's awesome. Candy says, show you right. Joan says, bravo. Hey, Joan. We love Joan. All right, Forrest Lamb says, you and I are created in the image of the Creator, therefore create. Stop asking to speak and speak.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, find your voice.
All right.
Thank you. Awesome, you guys. So, I could go on and on and on. I definitely want to give love to everybody, but you guys are out there and you are talking and we love it. Let's like some people stuff. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. So continue on.
So I'll just finish this up and say, one of the things that I had to realize was the power of surrender, because I have always been a very, I do my own thing. I do it by my own will. I'm powerful. I don't need nobody, but just very independent.
Come get that affirmation from playing on your phone.
But just realizing that sometimes
from playing on my phone.
Oh, sorry.
Stephanie,
that's okay. Okay, now we got it.
We're good. Good.
That sometimes in order to gain your most power, you have to surrender.
Yes.
And that was one of the hardest things for me to do, because I've always, even though I've always believed in God and what He does for me and had faith in, I was still, my version of prayer was I go to God and say, now look here, this is what I want to do.
Look, here's my plan. This is what I want to do. Now bless that, Jesus. Bless that. I love it.
And laughing.
Right. And so finally I had to recognize that, sometimes the plans that God has for me are bigger than the plans that I could ever come up with myself. And so I had to surrender, and my prayers are a lot different. And so I go to Him and ask Him to breathe through me and to show me and give me discernment so that my life is in a way, in alignment with His will and not just doing my own. And I think we all have to figure out, how do we tap into, as you said, that spiritual side of us that helps us to move forward, and that, whether it is, tapping into the power of community or tapping into the power of the resources that we have, is that realizing that, we don't have to do things all by ourselves. We have all of these resources at our fingertips, and we just have to do that.
I love that.
I think it's really difficult to feel fulfilled if you don't have a spiritual connection, because it's hard to understand what is your purpose? And I mean a deeper purpose, right? We all, have roles in our lives, right? And I'm a mother, and I've got all these other roles and done all these other things, but that's surface. There is a deeper meaning for my life, and getting connected with the spiritual side helps guide me. It is my beacon. It is my shining light. Now, I might be a little bit obstinate sometimes, and I might be trying to go this way, and they keep pulling me this way, and they keep pulling me back. But it is a connection, a spiritual connection. We are energy, right? We talk about manifesting our desires and those things that we truly want. Well, we can't manifest without that connection, because our thoughts are energy. Have you ever been on the same page with someone and you show up in the same outfit, or you show up in
my jeans are blue.
Have you ever taken a picture, or you had a brand picture or a brand photo, and then you happen to be wearing the same dress, and they're like, oh, that's your lucky dress, huh? That's awesome.
Yes, no, it's that ability to connect with our deeper sense of who we are, and we can only do that by connecting with that spiritual side of our stuff. And I'm glad you mentioned earlier that it's not about religion, right? This is really much deeper, and regardless of what religion it is or what you believe in, you know, connecting with your passion, right, and your purpose will guide you, and that's where you feel fulfillment, right? And even in your business, if you are trying to embrace a business that is not for you, you feel resistance, right? There's a struggle, and sometimes we have to pay attention to what is really happening because there's a message there. Right?
Yeah,
we don't always listen, right? We don't always listen, but there is a message, and you know, and I'll even take it back to our emotions, okay? Because our emotions are there for a reason. Every single emotion has a reason behind it. There is, and I'll say this, there is no good emotion and there is no bad emotion.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute.
Right.
There is no good emotion and there is no bad emotion. But a famous person once said, it is what you think that makes it so.
It's what I think.
So if we all think about anger being this terrible emotion, oh, you can't be angry, don't be angry. There's a purpose for anger. It is sometimes there to get us going, to get us riled up, to make us pay attention. There is a purpose for fear, right? We even have a physiological response to fear, right? We are all familiar with the flight or flight response. I won't go into all that craziness, but you know, there is a purpose behind all of our emotions. And I'll say this, happiness, just because it's happiness, doesn't mean that it's always your friend.
Doesn't mean everything's okay.
Because sometimes when you're happy, you can go overboard. Because you're hijacked by the happiness and your rational mind is no longer paying attention.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
Your emotions can hijack you. There's a famous quote that says, powerful emotions make you stupid.
Wow.
And that is a physiological thing because it blocks your ability.
Can we put that in the group?
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes. So
Powerful
emotions
can make you stupid. Wow.
Yeah, it can make
That's
you do stupid
awesome.
things.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let me real quick. They're talking to us. So Joan says, keep it 100, Dr. Stephanie. We have to get out of our own way. Star says, this is a blessing to my soul. Forrest says, speak, Doctor, speak. Allison Bird says, your purpose will guide you. Resistance is a sign. Great point. Forrest Lamb says, religion is relationship, and religion or relationship.
Maybe he meant first.
Right.
Yeah.
Happiness can hijack your rational mind. Straight up. So real. Yes. Dr. Steph is on it. You are on it, girl. They're feeling you. They're resonating with you. High five.
Awesome. Somebody said, what's that person's name in the black and white pants?
Yes.
Rhonda Williams.
I love it.
Blue
So
and white.
yes. So this, yes. So should we reintroduce? But just say your name so they all know. So a lot of you guys are maybe just tuning in and you're wondering to yourself, who are these women on the couch? I'm Kimberly Flowers, the visual branding expert. I'm sitting here talking to a bunch of awesome, amazing, successful women, and we're talking about the journey of womanpreneurship and as black women in the industry and contributing our specific value. Introduce yourself, Rhonda.
Before we do that,
Go.
I've got a message.
Yes.
I got something to say.
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing. We want you to share. Okay, so please
Yes, and you guys are. We love you so much. You're awesome.
But it's not just because we want you to share. There's going to be something in it for you. So we've been giving you a lot of wisdom. We're going to actually give something to you. So the woman with the most shares is going to be gifted a chapter in the upcoming book, Black Woman by Birth, Champion by Choice.
So they get a chapter. Here's the video.
So the woman with the most shares, okay, is going to be given a chapter in the book, Black Woman by Birth, Champion by Choice. Now, what does that mean? All right. All of us got here as black women, right? But it took a choice. It took a decision. It took willpower. It took all of these great things that helped us to move forward. So we want to hear and share your story.
Yes.
So in order for us to share your story, you need to hit the share button.
Share.
Hit it 50 million times. Because the most shares, the woman with the most shares will get to tell her story in that book, Black Woman by Birth, Champion by Choice.
Black Woman by Birth, Champion by Choice.
Share.
Black Woman by
share
Choice. Black Woman by
Birth, Champion by Choice.
We talked about there's some things you can control. There's some things.
We are
champions. Share how we were born, but as far as like our race, we're Black woman by
Yes,
birth,
yes,
but
right.
champion by choice.
It's a decision.
It is a decision.
One of the things that I say all the time, a quote that I had, again, I had to talk to myself for that healing.
Yeah.
I had to talk to myself for that healing. Unleash the champion in you today.
Yes.
It's something that I had to, I know that God gave it to me. I had to write it down. I had to focus on that because I always had a someday story. I was going to do that great thing someday.
How many of us
Wait a minute,
had
maybe
that?
someday, maybe one day, and then that, no, eventually it went till tomorrow, sometimes. But I heard a story about Joe's Crab Shack. If you go in there, there's a sign that says, free crabs tomorrow. The problem is that if you go back tomorrow, the sign says free crabs tomorrow. So what I love doing, I'm glad that I'm in the opportunity now, in the position now, to help women to go from someday, one day, to unleashing their champion today.
Right.
And so we're talking about, we're talking about being a black woman. We're all born as black women. We can help that, you know what I mean? And we're proud of that, love that. I love that.
Yes, I am.
You know what I mean? So we're embracing the distinction that we bring to the marketplace, but we're choosing, no matter, within this distinction, to create an atmosphere, create solutions for others, creating this whole lifestyle of a champion, right?
Yes.
We are champions by choice. This is about living your life intentionally, showing up intentionally, and creating for your life, manifesting those things that you see in your head. Let's talk about living the life that you see in your head, right? So we all have that life we see in our head, right? We have the current situation and we have the life that we see in our head, right? And so sometimes getting from the current situation to the life that we see in our head requires a level of faith. It requires a level of going, he got it. It requires a level of us coming outside of our programming, coming outside of our beliefs, things that we've been programmed to believe about ourselves, and rewiring those things and deciding that I am going to be a champion anyways. You said I couldn't do this, but guess what? I'm going to do it anyways. You said that I shouldn't be able to do this. Guess what? I'm going to do it anyways. And sometimes those obstacles, when it comes to people, if you're a people lover like me, I love meeting new people. I love embracing people, I can tell.
So do I.
And so when people cut you, it's almost like it hurts. And sometimes we don't really acknowledge, especially as black women, we don't acknowledge when our feelings are hurt. We just we go hard and stuff like that. But sometimes you have to acknowledge those things that we're feeling. I told you guys I'm unapologetic in the girl department, but when it comes to unapologetic in the woman department and really recognizing that this is why collaboration is so important, right? This is why we build together. As we build together, we are stronger. But realizing that, sometimes these challenges that we're facing are not just challenges that I'm facing. As I talk to Tammy, I realize she's facing some of the same things. As I talk to Boomy, I realize, she was hurt maybe in the same way, right? And so just acknowledging those things and being transparent and authentic about those things can really help us get to a place of, okay, so we've decided that we've all experienced this thing, right? So now how do we grow, right? Because you were told you can't sing. Because you were in a circumstance where it seems like you should have never seen a six-figure income, right? And you're in a situation where you lost your job. You were 20 years in a marriage, and how do you start over? How do you get to a place of successful living outside of the negative circumstances that we face? We all have a story to tell. So we're talking about what it takes, to be a champion regardless of the circumstances in our lives.
Before you tell your story, I got another something to say.
You got it.
Back to the story. Because this is related to telling your story. So first of all, remember you need to share. And the woman who shares the most will be given a chapter in Black Woman by Birth, Champion by Choice. However, if you're not the top sharer and you want to share your story, you can go to blackwomenchampions.com. So that's black women, W-O-M,
Black Woman Champions.
He's talking black women. All right, so which is it? We're going to get that straight. Blackwomenchampions.com.
You wrote it down wrong.
That's what I had it right. Listen to your girl.
And so people are sharing. So this is awesome. So who's trying to win out there? You guys are trying to win. Allison, says Steph is on it, and I think she challenged somebody to win. If
Yes,
saw
I
that
did.
correctly.
To share.
Let me see
Yes.
what we got going here. Is there a challenge happening out there?
All right.
To see who can win. All right, you guys. I saw it somewhere, but these quotes are going to keep going.
So here's what your challenge is.
Hashtag boss.
So what you want to do is make sure that you share.
She
So
said,
the
I'm
woman-
taking that wine from y'all.
Yeah, I know, right? So the woman who shares the most will be given a chapter in Black Women Black Woman by Birth, Champions by Choice. If you're not the top sharer, you can still have the opportunity
Still tell your
to
story.
participate and tell your story. You can go to www.blackwomenchampions.com. So that's Black
Women champions.
Black Women Champions.
We're losing control.
I know. So remember, you can do that. www.blackwomenchampions, because they're more than one,
Right.
.com. Blackwomenchampions.com. And that's where you can learn how you can tell your story, share your message, and share your expertise.
And I want you guys to share right now your expertise in the group. We want to know who is watching. We have lots and lots and lots of people watching, and I really want to know who you guys are. And we want to talk about, we're talking about being Black woman by birth, champion by choice, right? We're talking about living your life intentionally despite whatever it is that your circumstances, whatever circumstances you have or you're a part of. We're talking about being a champion by choice, living intentionally, and creating the environment and the atmosphere that you want for your life. We are losing control in the studio. We have everybody running around. But guys, we're having this conversation, and we want you to have it with you. Although we're having it with one another, right? We want the audience to join in, and you guys have been engaging, and you've been absolutely amazing during this process. So let's see what you guys are saying out there. I gotta scroll all the way down. What do we got? So what makes you a champion? That is the conversation. Share, 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 you guys. Oh wow, you guys are sharing like awesome. So that's totally great. Where can I find more about you ladies?
Oh, well, we were supposed to say our names again. Did we ever do that? We didn't.
We're telling our names in between, right? So we've introduced ourselves, 5 times now since we've been here? But you guys, some of you are just joining in, so we want to make sure that we do it.
Just a name.
Kimberly Flowers, visual branding expert.
Rhonda Williams, Dream Life Coach and EQ expert.
Adeline Francois Dryden, Dryden Tax and Accounting Services.
Tammy Turner, global leader of Freedom Women's Network.
Booney Moore, power personified, BUNMI.
And I am Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes with C-Suite Women's Network.
Carmela says, I was blocked from sharing too much, LOL. Facebook blocked her, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Well, that's interesting. Well, hey, how do we determine the winner? Oh, you guys make sure you're doing the hashtag for hashtag Black CEO. Erica says hashtag find your power. Gab says, I love this. You guys are talking. Love the talking. Erica said they blocked her from sharing also, right? Jess says, you queens are awesome. If you ever guys need would love the opportunity. You guys rock. Hashtag Black beautiful women. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As are you, ladies. As are you. Beautiful Black women and men who are watching right now. I have this iPad all close to my face. That's awesome. I'm totally blocking my face. I'm like, hey guys. But yeah, we love having you. And we're talking about what does it take to create intentional atmosphere of a champion. Atmosphere of, building outside of what they told us we were able to do. Outside of what we're supposed to be able to do. Society, statistics. Man, we're going against a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's 2 parts to begin it from my perspective. First of all, you have to decide that you want to be a champion.
Right.
But I think even before that, you have to be aware of what a champion is, and you have to expand your knowledge base, because a lot of times, if all you see before you is, you don't see champions, you don't get to learn what a champion truly is. And so it's important for you to expand your network, expand your horizon, read books.
Yeah.
That's still really good.
Reading books. Yes.
Okay?
And writing books.
Yes.
Like
And writing books.
BlackWomenChampions.com, right?
Right.
So telling your story, because you're
Yeah.
telling not just your story, you're telling other people's story.
Right.
And I think that's
Yes.
what's so important
that's
about us
absolutely.
telling our story is that we're not just telling our story. Somebody out there is listening to your story and saying, you know what, that's my story.
Yes.
I was right there. I was in that situation, circumstance, blah, blah, blah. And if they were able to make it, now suddenly my ears are tuned in to your voice.
Yes.
Because you were in this situation, you are now qualified to lead me to my next, right?
That makes me
now I
feel-
see you as a mentor. Now I see you as somebody who can provide the solution because I'm able to resonate. I'm able
Yes.
to hear the story that was you. You're telling my story, and I'm like, well, how did you do it?
Yes.
How did you do it? How did you get where you were going? You know what I mean? How did you, despite all these things that I'm currently going through, how did you get to the other side?
Well,
Right?
one of the things that I did to get to the other side, again, I had to say, okay, Tammy, what is it that God has gifted you with? Your purpose, your gifts, your talents. And how can you package this so that you can bless other people? So one of the things that I did in 2015, God had given me a download like years and years ago. It was a one-woman play, okay? Now, I didn't have any mentors I could look to, anybody I could follow to help me and say, okay, go this way or do this or do that. But I had to look within myself through prayer, again, meditation, reading books and becoming powerful just, in myself, just becoming and believing in myself. I say adopting a new belief system to replace that old belief system that I didn't want anymore. So I created a show called Glass Rainbows, Colored Pieces of a Mended Heart. That was one of the ways that I healed. So I'm one woman. I play 3 different characters. I play an 18-year-old, 45-year-old, 90-year-old. And it chronicles the life of one young woman who was raped when she was a very young girl. She was raped, and so what she had to do was she had to go through this life's journey. She suffered from PTSD. She forgot about what happened to her for a while, and then it came back up in her spirit. She became very successful, a successful attorney, and then what happened was that she realized that she had never healed. So having all of the money in the world and having all of the affluence and the influence and the accolades and the awards, it doesn't mean anything if you are not healed.
Right.
So I had to again, I'm not Steven Spielberg.
Right.
So I'm like, at first that negative chatter and those thoughts said, well, Tammy, who do you think you are that you could write this one-woman show?
Right.
Who do you think you are that you could put this on in front of people and that they would want to see it?
A champion. That's
A champion. You better come on now.
Yeah.
And when women left, women left that play. I'm telling you, I did it 10 times in Baltimore, and we'll be starting it back up soon. But women would leave crying in tears. They would come time after time after time again, and they would leave and say, Tammy, now I go and find my purpose. But there was a lot of forgiveness that had to take place as well. They had to forgive themselves. They had to forgive the people who had hurt them, not for the other person. They had to forgive it so that they would not deteriorate on the inside, by hating someone else or by holding something against someone else. Go.
What would the 90-year-old Grandma L say if she was here today?
Why did you fall into character? Why did you fall into character? That's what I want to know.
Grandma L would tell all of you. You best love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it.
I love it. Okay, you know what I like about you, Tammy? Is that you're like so bold sometimes. She just will go into character. Like, Tammy, sing this song. Tammy, act like a 90-year-old. Well,
don't get me started.
Again, within that are your gifts. Within that, you're totally equipped for what you're doing. I love it. So, you guys, we're celebrating our championship, right? Our championship. We're celebrating. Like, what's that? Like I have a dance for that, right? But we're celebrating the emergence of the new brands and things that we're representing.
Yes.
We're creating, and I say new. You may have been you ladies have been in your business, for whatever time and space that you've been in your business, but newness comes from mindset shift.
Yes.
This is not about newness of brands itself, right?
Yes.
But this is about showing up differently, showing up more powerfully, showing up in a deeper resonance to those people, telling our story in creative and different ways, right? This is about showing up and really solving problems for people. So you guys have gone through this process. This weekend has been information loaded, right? And then you guys have been trained on all kinds of different things. You've got an opportunity to really go deep when it comes to how am I structuring my brand? How am I building my process? How am I going through my process and really, leveraging those things, right?
And growing as a CEO.
Growing as a CEO. So when we're thinking about, you guys got to work with Trevor and Shay and lots of other trainers that were here, right? And so I want to ask you, because I know some people are out there, they're asking, like, what is it really like? What is the experience really like to work with the guys, right? What was it like to work with Shay? Shay's goofy as heck, okay? First of all, I love Shay. He is goofy as heck, and it's awesome, though. But he brings the energy, right?
Yes, he does.
And he's freaking brilliant in his craft.
They
Like,
both are.
Thank you. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, and Trevor, too. So I want to hear from you guys your experiences with Trevor and Shay specifically.
Shay.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So it's Shay, but technically it's Shay,
Right.
but it's Shay because
Oh,
everybody calls him Shay. Y'all didn't know that.
No.
Oh, is it Shay?
Technically.
Oh.
They
I don't think I was
told
supposed
me,
to call him that.
somebody done told me wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I think I just got into a habit, but
Now I'll say
We're talking about
correctly.
same
Thank you,
person.
Kim. Oh, you are so amazing.
What does your mother call you? Your mother calls you
Shay. Let's call you Shay.
So I'm going to sum up
call
this
it Shay.
experience. I'm going to just sum it up.
Come on, Doc.
Who are you talking about, Shay or Shay?
I'm talking about both.
Okay,
I'm
let's
talking
talk
about
about
the
the whole-
experience
the whole-
of the extreme makeover.
Okay.
You might think you know your business. You might think you know where you want to go. You might think you know where you need to go and what you need to do to get there. But before you walk in this space, forget what you think you know. Just forget it.
You need to say that over.
So before you walk into this space to work with this amazing team, I would say forget what you think you know. And the reason I say that is because you need to be willing to open up your mind and your heart to all of the information that you're going to receive, the expertise, the guidance, the unconventional wisdom of these men. They are geniuses in their own right, and this is an amazing experience. So before you come, forget what you think you know.
Go ahead,
And
Bowie.
you know how they say knowledge is power?
Yeah.
But it's actually applied knowledge is the real power. And so Shay, and Trevor.
How many times does that happen?
Wait.
Just pick one name for him, like
Shay and Trevor.
Shay.
Right. Oh, Shay. Excuse me. Shay helped us
Shay or Shay.
to actually
Everybody knows about
apply what we know and what they know. So I knew some more things that I should be doing, but I had no clue how to implement it. So for me, this weekend was all about getting even more knowledge, and it's the application of it. Done for you solution.
Say that
That's
again.
what I
Say that
wanted.
again.
Done for you solution. Tammy and I all the time, we're like, we don't want to have to learn this stuff.
There's three different
Figure
types
out.
of solutions, right? There's the DIY, which is do it yourself.
Yes.
Teach you how to do it yourself.
Yes.
And then there's a done with you solution, which means
Yes.
we're walking you through the process. And then there's
Yes.
a done for you solution. So some of you out there have different modalities, or you learn differently, right? And so your process of doing things may be different. So some of you are like DIYers all the way. Just tell me how to do it, right? And then some of you are like, well, I want you to teach me how to do it, but I want a hands-on approach. I want you to walk me through the process, hold my hand, right? And then some of you, personal trainer, there you go. And then you have some of you who are just at a place in your business where you're like, the answer to who doesn't have to be me, right? And so some of you are out there and realizing, this is, I just need the help. I just need the leadership. I need leadership because I know where I'm trying to go. I don't really know the path in which to get there. I don't maybe know the infrastructure things that, you know, the insides of business that are going to take me to that next level. I have this amazing idea. I have this amazing infrastructure business model, right? But how do I take this business model and turn it into, you know, even from taking it from a business into like this movement, right? And shifting is really the difference between good and great is in the
Details.
Yes. And so this is about understanding what are the details that I need within my business to really take me to the next level. So if that's you and you're thinking about your business and you're like, man, I'm ready to show up. This is second quarter, but newness is in the mindset. Shift today. Today I'm deciding that I'm going to take this business to the next level. Today I'm going to find leaders who can help push me in that direction. Today is my moment that I'm going to at least have a conversation. Right? And just see maybe what that looks like for my business. Then you want to text makeover. Text makeover to 202-270-1662. That number again is 202-270-1662. We only have a few more minutes, guys, 15 more minutes before we're about to wrap up. But what I want to do is ask you guys again, we talked about your experience with Trevor and Jay. Can y'all tell me like a funny story? Because they're full of funny stories as goofy as they are. They're full of like all different kinds of stories. So I want to hear.
It's always funny.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, because I'm a very analytical person. I like order. I like structure. You know, I've been following Che and Trevor for, I don't know, about two or 3 years. But quite honestly, they kind of stress me out. They talk really fast. And, you know, and I'm a thoughts person. I have to process it. I have to visualize it. And I get overwhelmed. And I remember, let's see, when I met with them in February of this year, right before I made the decision to join this weekend, I was talking to Trevor. It was a bunch of us sitting around. Trevor was talking. He was telling me all these things I needed to do with my brand, and it was all this great stuff. And it was so much great stuff, I couldn't take notes. I had to turn on my recorder. But he was overwhelming me. But it was good stuff, because I was processing all this. And there was another woman sitting next to me, and she turned to me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, and I was just like, no, I'm not. But anyway, it's because, you know, everything that they were saying were things that I needed to hear. It was really great information. It was really relevant. But their brilliance is at such a high level that you really have to just listen and take it in and then go back and dissect it into small parts. They throw the whole elephant at you. Okay? But they're really good at what they do. And so, you know, you sometimes just have to slow down and listen and not be afraid of the new information, the new way of doing things, because, of course, talking about that comfort zone, you know the way you've always done it. But you need experts, and they're very good at what they do, and it's a matter of drilling all of that down to dissectable points that you can use.
Boomy, what was your experience with Trevor and Che?
Well, it was just amazing because I had let procrastination keep me from pulling the trigger. Like, I should have done this probably 2 years ago. I even have referred someone else, a friend who had gone through this process, right? So I had used someone else to get some results and got none. And they said, we're going to help you build this brand, and it just, nothing. And so I think there was a little maybe fear of, are they really going to come through?
Are they going to deliver? And that's
really
a problem that a lot of people are scared about when it comes to like deciding who's right for you. Because the industry has tainted a lot of people in that regard, because they've had these experiences with other people who have promised them the world and delivered nothing, really. So, you know, being in a space like this, like where the guys just over deliver, don't they?
Yes, they do. And they continue to deliver.
And so it's amazing. So so I had a friend. We both used another team and didn't get the results we wanted. I told her, I said, I think I'm going to use Che and Trevor. So she went ahead first, and she said one day with them, one day was better than all the time that she had spent with this other company. And she said there is no comparison. Wow. No comparison whatsoever. So I'm just saying, just trust.
Yeah.
We had some conversations where we weren't sure. We had some hesitancy or whatever. I am so glad that we are here today. We made the right decision.
Absolutely.
This is an investment in yourself.
Yes, it is.
It really is. I'm telling you, this is an investment in yourself, in your future, in your destiny.
And it's in moments like this you think to yourself, dang, what if I hadn't come?
Yeah, what if I hadn't, right?
Yeah.
And what if I had a couple years ago? But you can't move forward when you're looking back. So I'm just so glad and blessed to be here now.
Yes, and we love serving you guys. Go ahead.
I think that everything happens in the right time. You know, Boomy, if she hears about something, I'm going to hear about it to some degree. So I had heard about Che and Trevor, you know, from her. And I kind of forgot, you know, all about them. I just knew them as this elite team that worked with businesses and helped to take the business to the next level. Well, you know, like I said, I just kind of forgot about them. I had so much work that I was doing. I'm still creating. I help women to set up their own one-woman shows, whether they're speakers or whoever. So I just didn't even give it the time of day. Then I got an invitation from another good friend of mine, Anna, to come to this event where there were going to be black CEOs and black leaders. I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. So that time goes, about a week or so goes by, and I don't hear from her again, but through Facebook, I see another event coming up. It says Black CEO. You know, the one that they had a couple of months ago, that event is coming up. So I was like, this thing looks like it's bombarding me from all over. Let me just go and check it out. I came that night and my life was forever changed. I think I was on the phone with Che. I was on the phone with Che maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I was like, let's see, how can I sign up for this program? What is it that I need to do? So I'm really looking forward to moving from here. You know, Allison Bird, I spoke to her, and one of the things that she said was that going through the extreme, this is kind of like the beginning of the beginning. Now the journey starts. You know, so I'm ready for that. I was so glad that she imparted that in me, and now I know that I'm ready, you know, for the next steps, you know, in this journey. So it's been priceless for me. It's been priceless.
Adeline?
Well, every now and again, you're going to meet someone in your life that's amazing. And for me, it was Che and Trevor. So I met them both at the same time. And I've been in business for a while, probably about 15 years now, off and on for 15 years. But I want to say the last 4 or 5 years, it's been full time. And I'm actually in the process of rebranding both my businesses because I have 2 brands. And I have to say that I struggle because there's a lot of people out in the marketplace that'll tell you they can do this for you, they can do that for you, and you spend that money and it just doesn't happen. But these guys are absolutely amazing. It's not about, being a CEO is not about power. It's about serving.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they do 24/7. It doesn't matter where they're at, they're on Facebook Live and they're just pouring out and giving you content. And this weekend was just absolutely, it just blew my mind. But as CEOs, we have to invest in ourselves or we are going to pay a cost. I got that from Che, by the way. And so, again, I said, as CEO, you have to invest in yourself. Professional development is important. We talk about reading books, and we talk about finding a community to support you. And the Black CEO, that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they stand for. They want to build Black CEOs throughout the country. And so coming here this weekend has really changed my life because I'm from Brooklyn. I've got a pocket full of dreams, but I don't know how to execute it. And I know once I leave here on Monday, I'm going to start executing. So I just want to say thank you to Che and Trevor for all that you do, for all the CEOs throughout the country.
They're blowing kisses and they're blowing kisses too.
Just give us hearts, guys.
I think that's for them. That's for them.
That's not mine.
Those kisses are for you guys.
So they're blowing kisses at you guys too. That's
so
awesome.
Just want to say thank you. And again, if you haven't, just make the call and have that conversation. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
What's the high cost of you not investing in yourself? What's the high cost that your family will pay if you don't invest in yourself? In your change, investing in your change.
Right.
Dr. Rhonda?
So I would say to you that fear has a purpose in your life. Its purpose is not to stand in the way of your greatness. And so if you are worried, if you are fearful, if you are concerned, then make the phone call, because a phone call can't hurt, right? There's nothing painful in a phone call. It's just a conversation. So push past the barriers. Some of them real, some of them sort of seems like real and probably are a little bit more falsity. But push past that and make the phone call and begin deciding. Remember, you've got to decide. And so I wrote a book called The Dream Life Roadmap. And there is a roadmap to your greatness. And one of the steps in there is to decide. Only you can do it. No one else can do it for you. So I would say, consider what you want for your life. Believe in yourself, believe in your purpose and your passion, and make the decision to move forward.
So if that's you guys, and you're watching this and you're realizing, like, this is for me. Sometimes when you hear something, and we're living in a world of optics, we're bombarded with information, right? We have lots of sources to receive information, but sometimes you hear a message, sometimes you hear a story that really resonates with you, and you realize that this is more than just information right now. This is an opportunity for me to move in the direction that I've been saying that I want to go. How many of us have ever been there? I've been saying I want to do this, and I've been trying to get to it, and I'm going to get to it, and now I'm finally seeing some people that have maybe taken the step maybe a day earlier than me, right? A weekend earlier than me, and they're saying, this is a process that you should go through. They're recommending this process for you to, take advantage of and leverage the benefits of the teaching. And so if that's you right now, text makeover. Text makeover to 202-270-1662. That number again is 202-270-1662. One more time, it's 202-270-1662. And that being said, guys, we're going to be moving into a very kind of intimate space, right? Because what we're going to do next is we're going to talk to the visionaries themselves. And what they want to do is really kind of have a one-on-one with you and really talk through your business, your processing, the things that we've been kind of going over. And this is, guys, if you're just watching and you're winding down and you're realizing, dude, go get your coffee real quick, because this is about to be some awesome stuff. When they speak, people listen, right? And they're listening not because they just like watching them, but because the content that they're delivering is valuable to your life and to your business. So in this moment, we're going to take a moment and have you guys have an opportunity to talk to. Go ahead.
No, we were supposed to be giving away some free stuff too. So don't
we haven't forgot about you. So stay tuned, you guys. Oh my gosh, the hearts are flowing in. They want to see you guys. They're wanting to see you guys. They're asking for you. So right now, I'm going to ask you guys to exit stage left. And we're going to bring you back one by one.
Awesome.
One by one, you guys. So if this has been super helpful for you guys, if you found this valuable, if you found this as something that I don't want you to go anywhere, because right now we are going to introduce the visionaries of this process, taking you guys through this process. And please let me introduce, the numbers are going up. They want to see you guys. Trevor and Che. Come on, Trevor and Che.
Hey, Kimberly, what's the word? What's going on? You're leaving us.
I'm leaving.
You're jetting.
Yes.
You're going away. Was that awesome? Were they incredible? This is awesome. This is just amazing.
One, this is the most viewed broadcast in the history of this company. And it's not because of myself or Shay, it's because I believe that in the marketplace, I think the marketplace is crying out for black women leaders. I think it's crying out for that black woman CEO. And I believe that by and large, the black woman CEO has been overlooked, marginalized. And I think the marketplace needs more women like the women we saw here today. And for me, watching these women sit here today, is really seeing my mother's dreams come true. My mother was always a person who wanted to be an entrepreneur, but gave up many of her entrepreneurial dreams to raise a family, to provide for her family. And so when we get an opportunity to serve, it's really that opportunity to give back to the woman who gave me my dreams and aspiration, the woman who gave me life. And so, Mom, if you're out there watching, I love you, I appreciate you, and everything that we do here, we celebrate the fact that you celebrated our dreams.
Absolutely. You know, it's a pleasure for all of you out there watching. I mean, you know, the ladies out here today, we know there's so many more of them that are out there. They have a story to tell, they have a message to tell, they have expertise. But what we're going to do right now is really bring them in and allow us just to have a conversation with them.
So we're going to do the exit interviews real time. And
we're going to do it live. I mean, this is this first time we've done this.
Yeah, so we're going to do the exit interviews real time. So that you get a chance to learn about these phenomenal women that are really out there really making a difference. And I don't just think of them as entrepreneurs as much as I think of them as purposepreneurs. You know, I believe, you know, truly as CEOs, CEO is not a position of power. That to be a CEO is a position of service. And these women have been all about service. And that's why we honor them. And so, you know, CEO is not a position of power. It's actually a position of submission. Being willing to submit to your purpose. Being willing to submit to the people that you're called to serve. And so many times we see people who want to see CEO and they just don't get it. They start saying, I'm a boss. You know, you don't become a CEO because you want to be a boss, because you want to be in control. You become a CEO because there's a part of your spirit that says, I want to serve. And so being a CEO is not a position of power, it's a position of submission. And the real question, because powerful people ask powerful questions, is, are you actually willing? Like, are you willing to submit to that purpose? Are you willing to submit to the people that you were called to serve? Because CEO is not a position of power, it's a position of submission, it's a position of responsibility, and it's a position that requires for you to care for the people that you're called to serve. So let's bring our first CEO here.
All right, I'm looking forward to having that discussion. And you know, what I know most about each of the individuals that are coming in is that they can pursue their passion, and they can serve at the same time. If you're out there right now, you know what? You said the time has come to pursue your passion. Just look right below in the video. Look right below in the video and type these words. Put the name of someone, a woman, that has helped you along the way. I mean, we want to honor so many folks that are out there right now that are doing so many good things. So as you're watching right now, so bring the first person up. Go ahead.
Come on, join us.
Thank you.
And Kimberly said, give me her, she says, give me my phone.
Yes. So as I was saying, as we're bringing on Boomy, look right below, and when you do, type the name of someone. Put at your mom's name, put at maybe a school teacher's name, put at another business person's name, and put a woman's name below and celebrate them. Put I celebrate at Boomy. I celebrate at someone else. This is all about other folks. Tell me, go ahead.
People get that wrong.
Go ahead and tell me how to spell Boomy.
It's B-U-N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, I. Boomy. The N is silent.
Ah, the N is silent.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so here's what I want to know, you know, Boomy. You know, you've gone through this experience, you're at the Extreme Business Makeover. What are you going to do as a result of what you learned here? And this is that time where it's not just about talking to us here, right, but you're talking to the people out there who you're called to serve. And it's a different type of accountability. And you have thousands of people literally watching you all around the world. And so what are your next steps? What are you going to do as a result of what you've gone through today?
So for me, it's about serving more people. That's why I got hooked up with you all, because I was serving some people and they were getting results, but I knew that hooking up with you all would allow me to get my message out to lots more people and make that